We're just terribly embarrassed at what we served up tonight.
They haven't had too many severe beatings and beltings in their time, but they're copping one here.
This is officially a belting.
Yep. The Kangaroos have been put out of their misery.
Have these champions fallen? Has their reign come to its end? Has one too many heroic efforts finally taken its toll? As the Kangaroos licked their wounds, they must have wondered, for the briefest of moments, whether their wonderful journey had reached its end. Whether their days as a finals powerhouse belonged to yesterday, not tomorrow. Surely they are now ready to lay down and leave the ultimate battle to others. Think that, if you will. For we know too many things about these Roos. Mostly, we know they are warriors. They will put aside their pain, they will bury last week's shame, and they will come again. For where there is life, there is hope. And this club doesn't know how to quit.
Welcome everybody to Friday Night Footy at Colonial with Robert Walls. Woolsey, can the champs come back, the Kangaroos?
I've got no doubt they can, Bruce. They're a proud team. They were put back last week, and I'm sure Dennis Pagan will get them up tonight.
Their senior brigade, they're going to count on them a lot tonight, aren't they?
Well, they do, and players like Carey and Archer and Mickey Martin, they've been around for a long time. Very, very proud men, and they had a humbling experience last week, and they'll want to make amends.
How much do you think did rounds 16 and 17 take out of the Kangaroos?
I think it took a lot out of them because it was a mammoth game, the Essendon Kangaroos match. Both teams had a letdown after it, and you can see that you know, they scored so well against Essendon and Brisbane, and yet they still lost. And then the big letdown against Sydney last weekend. And
the big losses too, Woolsey. 4 10-goal losses this year, only exceeded by West Coast. What about Dennis Pagan's record too? They haven't lost 4 games ever under Pagan in the one season. That's what could happen tonight.
Yes, and I'm sure the players would be aware of that. And Dennis Pagan has been a terrific coach to so many of those players for so long, and I'm sure that they will not want to let him down.
David King's back and Justin Murphy back for their respective teams. What can they bring to the match?
Oh, Murphy's a really good player, and he's a playmaker. He's a creative with his handball, and Justin Murphy will really set the Cats up tonight. Pleased to see him back in the side. And David King, of course, well, I think David King's the #1 player with the Kangaroos nowadays. Plenty of dash and can kick long goals.
And which Cat's going to take it by the scruff of the neck, do you reckon, for Geelong to make the difference?
Well, I reckon Benny Graham. Benny Graham's one because...
Gee, look at the... Sorry to interrupt. Look at the banner. Sally, will you marry me, Andrew? There's a job for Dipper, I reckon, later tonight. We'll have to chase that up.
Well, exactly. But getting back to the footy...
Go on.
I think Ben Graham, he's been in good form and taken more marks than anyone and can kick goals. But I reckon he'll need to kick 5 or 6 tonight for the Cats to get up.
Seen the Cats out there. Let's go down to the ground. Bomber Thompson there, coaches with Andrew Maher. Welcome, Andrew.
Thanks very much, Bruce. Such a massive, massive game for you blokes tonight.
Yeah, I think it's a massive game for both clubs. It's very, very important that we go out and play our best footy and try and win. Any nervousness or anxiety in the group? I think we're pretty relaxed. I think we're fairly focused. We were pretty disappointing last week, and they know that this game there's a lot relying on it, so they're in pretty good spirit, I think. It seems as though you've been wanting somebody to jump up and grab a game by the scruff of the neck. Have you issued any individual challenges tonight? I don't put too much expectation on individuals. You know, hopefully someone will do it, but you can't go out wanting that. It makes it very hard for individuals. Hopefully Ben Graham will do it, though. Yeah, thanks for your time, Bomber. Back to you, Bruce.
Wry smile from the coach. Hopefully Ben Graham might do it. Let's go down back.
Well, the Geelong backline, there's plenty of experience there. Brad Scholl, very experienced, gives a lot of dash and sets up play with his handball. Across half-back, Matthew Scarlett's been given the big roles this year, Bruce. He may well play on Carey or Rocker tonight. Kilpatrick in the midfield, plenty of experience, hard and tough and good at the centre bounces. Across the half-forward line, I mentioned Ben Graham. He's been in really good form and taking a lot of marks and such a long, booming kick. Clint Bizzle can be spectacular. Murphy, we mentioned, is the playmaker. In the ruck, Stephen King, terrific young ruckman, All-Australian last year, and, of course, Buddha Hocking and Riccardi with him.
Wojcinski comes in for Ling, so 4 changes in total. He's only played 2 games so far this year. Spriggs will be important. That's the Geelong lineup. No Ronnie Burns, so important to them. Well, can the King do it? David King's back. Can this King do it?
Well, I hope he can. Look, he really did play hard last week, took a couple of batterings. There's a rumour about that he's not well, that he's full of the flu and he's really struggling with a hamstring. Have a look at the Kangaroos lineup, and just a few players we'll mention. Jason McCartney at centre half-back. I think he'll play on Ben Graham. He's been great for the Kangaroos. Across the half-forward line, Byron Pickett. Look out for Byron. #1 tackler in the competition. Kicked 31 goals, 8 behind, so very accurate there. And across the full forward line, line. Of course, you've got Wayne Carey. He's kicked more goals than anyone in the competition.
OK, that's 600 and whatever.
664.
I knew you'd have the stats, Woolsey. I can't wait for Andrew and Sally. There's going to be a big night. Dermot and Dipper join us right after this for the opening bounce. Welcome back to Colonial Friday night. Not a big crowd. It is building a bit. Dermot Brereton joins us, as he always does. Dermot, welcome. Ben Graham's been talked about a bit already before the first bouncer. Who might get him tonight?
Yeah, good evening, Bruce. Yeah, Benny Graham, well, he's the #1 mark in the league. He's taken the most. And Jason McCartney seems to be going to the opposition's best big forward, so he'll get the job over Mick Martin. And Mick's probably doesn't travel around all that much enough for Benny Graham now. And up the other end, Severio Rock is the most dangerous of the Kangaroos forwards. Now, look, if you take Wayne Carey, even though he's on one leg, you'd think Scarlett will still get him. He gets the #1s, which will leave their #2 backman, Tom Harley, to pick up Severio Rocker. So I think Harley will get Sav, who's been in reasonably good form and good touch, apart from last week, which the whole team was.
Jeremy, let's go down to the boundary. An old mate of yours, Dipper, I think might be playing at half-time in a match tonight or something. Hey, Dipper, welcome. We wouldn't start without you. You know,
Thanks, Bruce.
The ground looks a bit patchy.
It is patchy, especially down the locket in the centre half forward area. There's only one patch of grass here, and the rest is packed sand. But just be aware of that when the players are shooting for goal. But we know about the Kangaroos. They love a challenge, and the challenge is certainly ahead of them tonight. And even though Wayne Carey is on one leg at the moment, I reckon they can get over the line tonight. And I would assume that the missing Ronnie Burns, there'll be 3 or 4 Geelong players still doing a rotation around the forward line. So we'll keep an eye on that, Bruce. And I'm going to find out, Andrew asked Sally to marry him. I'm going to find out if it was a yes or a no.
Keep it as a priority tonight, Dipper. Thank you for that. Terrific. So Dipper down there with Andrew Marr, Woolsey and Dermot up here. It is like an elimination match for both, is it? You feel as if whoever loses tonight, even though the Kangaroos will only be on the same number of wins as Geelong, they could kiss their chances goodbye.
Yeah, look, I think the Kangaroos have probably flattened off. They've played some tremendous footy over the last 6 weeks, but they've had little reward for it. I mean, you can only play at your peak and not get 4 points for so long when you accept it and think, well, what more can we do to win? Well, there's McCartney. No, McCartney's gone to Benny Graham, so we've pulled that one right. Well, that's, I mean, just an understanding. He's the best big forward, big backman in their back line now. Severio's gone to Mitchell White, and Carey's stepped into the centre. So he'll probably run there for 5-10 minutes before he runs out of a bit of puff. I don't think he'll run too deep into the back line. There's Wayne sitting behind another champ who's going to bow out at the end of this year, Buddha Hockey.
Just think it's terrific that Wayne Carey's in there for the start of the game. If he can get a couple of early touches, it'll just lift his confidence.
So Friday night footy at Colonial, the start of the game, the Cats go to the left of screen. They're playing for a whole lot here tonight. Harley's first handball okay. It's a real Kangaroo connection with this Cat team, isn't it? When you look around some of the blokes that started there, Sanderson's kicked to McCartney. And McCartney's first mark. David King will see plenty of this, you'd reckon, tonight. Short, sharp and pretty shiny he is, and goes in and finds Brent Harvey.
And Rahili on Harvey. He's the #1 tagger for the Cats.
Makepeace. Good kick out wide. This is a promising start, and McKernan's got hold of it. Just saw a moment ago with Gary Hocking next to Wayne Carey. The last time you'd reckon the Buddha and the King will be on the same ground again. He'd love to ruffle the King's feathers tonight, wouldn't he, Buddha?
And nice kick by Makepeace on the left foot. Put it out to McKernan, who was on the lead, and that's a terrific start, particularly for this big fella with the footy, because he plays on confidence. Gee,
this is an important kick. They love a good start. They kicked 3.18 last week. It looks all right. He's done it. McKernan's goal. He's out of contract too at the end of the year. That doesn't hurt, does it?
Always good to get a few goals and some good games under your belt. But it was announced through the week, Bruce, that he may even be prepared to play for less money.
Well, he actually started to the outside of the spine, so-called, and Cam Mooney is McKernan's opponent. He was looking for the lead straight down the middle. McKernan went straight out wide, which makes it a tougher angle. But if you kick him like that, you don't mind leading out in the V.
Play on at all costs early for them, wasn't it? I mean, they were quick to move, the Kangaroos, so they've got the start. Just one goal, admittedly. King, who with Primus was probably the best big man in the comp in the first 10 weeks. Harvey's little kick didn't go anywhere. Makepeace was taken off his boot. Scholl was very good, and as Well, it must have thrown it in the end. So Grant playing his 150th, just 24 years of age. Again, they're so quick to get it going here, the Kangaroos, to fall forward. Chance across the front there. Rawlings went to ground. Harley over the top. Will be a ball up.
That's really Byron Pickett territory. You'll find him on that occasion, he actually ran to the side. You'll find as the night wears on, he'll get more front and centre, and that is really tailor-made for him to just burst through on those types of entries into the forward line.
So the Cats defending again here. King just lays it down. Grant, very good. Pickett in the pocket. Oh, good mark by Harvey. Pickett kicked it with everything he's got, and Harvey stopped it in its tracks.
Well, a little bit of luck because the kick wasn't intended to go there, but this little fella with the football, he's just improved out of sight over the last 3 or 4 years. Byron Pickett on the left foot, didn't make clean connection. Good reflex mark in the end by Harvey.
Good signs early. I mean, Shannon Grant, David King, Byron Pickett, Corey McKernan, Brent Harvey.
I think it's important for the Kangaroos to start well, Bruce, because they don't always finish that well.
No, last quarter's not impressive, but a real chance here to kick the first 2 goals. Harvey shouldn't miss. He's straight in front. He's
Clipped it.
clipped the post.
I'll tell you what's the disappointing thing for Geelong at the moment. The Kangaroos have had 2 shots on goal, and we've had only 2 possessions to the Geelong midfield. They just can't find the ball at the moment.
They've only had 1 kick so far, the Cats. Here's Scarlett. It's been interesting, Scarlett, the last couple of weeks. He's certainly upset a couple of his rivals. Kicks the ball outside 50, McKernan. Maybe a bit unlucky there, McKernan. Cats just trying to get something going here. King forward and a boundary throw in.
And when you say upset a few of his rivals, I think he's been mouthing off a little bit, Bruce. Something you would never have done, Dermot?
No, actions speak louder than words.
And 2 boys mouthing off at each other, Shoal and Grant at the moment.
Well, Shoal started with the Kangaroos. His brother played over 200 games. You know them well. Hocking given the advantage here. You'd love Buddha to play a big one. Kick not so good. Sinclair, who's picked up his work rate over the last month, takes the mark. King looks fresh, doesn't he? This is David King to Rawlings out wide.
He's always going to play on and go out wide if need be, but you see they've bottled themselves onto the wing here. They have to come inboard.
Carey, first touch to Blake. He's got the job on Kent Kingsley.
They're back to where they were with David King now.
Motlop.
Mick Martin's on the run through, Bruce.
Well, he might get one here. Simpson, will he use Mickey?
Oh, don't.
He doesn't.
Oh, don't.
One bounce, and then decides to load up. It's a dreadful-looking kick off the boot. Ball still a chance here. Sinclair, make peace, got some leverage. Not bad. Pickett's a show. He's a real show, Pickett. High tackle, Sanderson play on, and Shoals away. Sanderson actually did it really well. Clayton chasing hard. Handball on the up, okay. Coming from White.
He led Mick Martin up the ground too easily then.
Did Murphy see Sinclair? Don't think he did, but he's good enough to get away. Well played, Clark. Really well played. And then just got the wobble slightly. Couldn't take it cleanly. Sinclair held on to. No free kick. Gets it out of the centre. Back to King. Burton. Gee, they're both going to have to struggle to get down low. Makepeace is busy early. Tackle okay. Harley out to White. Wolsey picked him to have a big match tonight. Needs to have a big match. King has been important early. Belts it away from Kilpatrick. Back to Carey. Still with Carey. Still with Carey. Oh, gee. He's going to be disappointed with that.
I just think the free kick should have gone to the Kangaroos. Kilpatrick took his eyes off the ball and made body contact, and the umpire should have penalised him for that.
They've let a few go already, the umpires. They've really, I reckon I've picked up about 3 free kicks already, but if they're going to err on the side of not giving an easy one away, Wolsey.
Murphy gets it and kicks the full forwards. Graham had plenty of it. Motlop at the back has to concede from behind.
Yeah, if they go to err, and I reckon the umpire's been all right, but that was a free kick. But if you go to err, don't give away needless free kicks. So I reckon the umpire's being all right at the moment.
Goes short. We have been playing 6 minutes, Dermot. I might quote you on that.
3 already? Yeah.
Grant in the back pocket.
At least let me get to 7.
Shannon Grant, centering kick to Martin or Blakey. Some experience there. Blakey, well played.
Just they don't want to use Mick.
35 years of age, Blakey, and still going strong. Rocker had to hold the mark. The short kick, Graham to White. The handball to Bearsall. To Scarlett, crunched almost. Cut off, half cut off by Grant. Well done, Riccardi. Left foot terrific. Here's the goal. It's Kingsley. So the Cats get it.
Costly cough up by Big Sav, wasn't it?
Disappointing result there. Blakey having to leave his man. Murphy did really well against the Bombers out of the centre. Clark with pace, real pace to full forward. Not a bad kick, good stretch, Bizzle. Well, suddenly the Cats look good, don't they?
In the midfield, yeah.
David Clark gives them pace. Murphy's the playmaker. He's the one with the creative handball. And we saw Clark play on and just kick long and low into the forward line. Bizzle out in front. He's playing on Glenn Archer. And again, he's a confidence player, Clint Bizzle. So if he can kick this, this will really lift him.
Only one on the line there. John Blakey sitting back there.
We're right behind him. Should go. He's only about 35 metres out, Bizzle. He's giving it a bit of a hook. Coming back. Got it. So Bizzle goes, and the Cats all of a sudden are in front.
Yeah, when I mentioned they only had the 2 possessions, 1 kick and 1 handball in the midfield, from that moment on, their midfield has actually absorbed the pressure of the tackling side, being Kangaroos, better than in reverse. So they're actually running through there. And you notice all their bursts, Bruce, for the Cats are right down the middle of the ground. They're not having to go out wide, whereas Kingy came out here wide for the Kangaroos, bowled them up on the wing. They've got the answers here at the moment, but it's very, very early days.
2 kids on the wing. Jess Sinclair on the left for the Kangaroos, on young David Clark, who bolted away with that ball to set up the goal.
King wins the tap, favoured by the bounce. Murphy, Carey, only to Sanderson though. Did well, Sanderson, to Hocking. Buddha, left foot, looks good, and finds Graham.
Not out of range either. He could really just lay this over the line. Open goal square, open goal square. He should go long.
Open goal square.
Goes short. Kangaroos everywhere. Belted away. Motlop front spot. Well done to King. I'm going to get on one of my hobby horses here, Dermot. These jumpers, when you look straight at them, boy, they look alike. The kick to centre wing. Sanderson almost runs it out, did well, confidently, and then kicks into the centre. Burton at the back. Mickey up the ground, could be dangerous. Kilpatrick. Swinging handball okay from Enright. Back to Graham. Got a fair bit on it. I mean, from a standing start, kick to 45 metres front of the goals.
Here it comes.
Enright. Archer brings him down. McCartney. Ball out the back. White. Still White over the top of it. Still White over the top of it. Ball up.
That's an unfair advantage, isn't it, Ben Graham? I mean, he's had a snap kick forward, and local park footballers will snap kick that ball forward about 20 metres. League players about 25 to 30. He's kicked it 50 on a snap forward. Mitchell White on screen, a little bit sore there, a little bit of a limp. That's.
You just see the matchup, Dermot, Harley on Makepeace up here. Just waiting for Kerry to come forward at the moment.
Yep.
Quick kick away by McCartney, not far enough. White's been useful early.
He leads up the ground. He is one of the most intelligent footballers in league football circles, Mitchell White.
He's playing on Mick Martin, and that's even more reason, Dermot, for him to play upfield and run Mick around.
Right behind him here.
He doesn't have the carry here, so he'll be looking for something.
He's kicked 14 goals this year.
Yeah, he's going to have a run at it.
He's kicked it pretty well. And just not quite making him build it away.
Big punch there by Spider. Came from behind, gave himself a run up and got the fist on it.
Looks like Kerry's pushing forward now, boys.
He does look properly White, doesn't he?
Well, he's had that bad knee, and 3 years ago when he did his knee, I thought he was in the top 3 centre-half forwards in the comp.
Archer held up by Kilpatrick and Graham ball up.
Just so smart, Mitchell White.
Pretty big Kangaroo forward line, Dermot. There's Sav playing across half forward with Corey McKernan, and now Wayne Carey's got the entire forward 50 to himself.
He's got Tom Harley against him, so Bomber Thompson believes that Wayne Carey shouldn't get the #1 backman these days.
Burton, Graham went early. Raleigh, Harvey put a tackle on him. It's in the goal square for the Cats. They're trying to just get it out of there, and again a ball up.
Scarlett, in turn, down the other end is picking up Sav Rocker. So Bomber Thompson believes that Sav Rocker is the Kangaroos' most dangerous player, forward of the centre.
Shannon Motlop got a tag on Riccardi. Now, that'll really test him. Riccardi's been in pretty good form. Dangerous on the left foot.
Burton and Graham, and Burton uses his height advantage and decides that let's give away a behind. It's a free kick, is it?
It's gone against Spider.
For high, was it? Against Spider. Burton to Ben Graham.
Infringement in the ruck contest. And we'll see it here. Spider, he puts the hand across Ben Graham's throat.
That's stiff.
That's a bit unlucky.
That's stiff. Well, you want to ask that question again, Bruce, because that should have been let go.
Well, Ben Graham will kick a goal, and does, and the Cats go away to a 2-goal lead. So there's Spider. He looked stiff, didn't he? I mean, the fact he's so tall worked against him there with Graham running into his arm. So I guess technically the right decision, but common sense might have gone the other way and allowed the point. Hocking, Murphy, so important in the centre.
Well, Murphy averages 10 hand passes a game. Already he's had 3.
Milburn to King, to Sanderson, to centre-half forward. Mark taken by McCartney.
He's been a good stand-up player for them, Jason McCartney.
Strolls away and then tries to deliver to centre-half forward. This is the tall setter. That's better from Rocker.
Yeah, Carey held out the jumpers for him.
Well, like Ben Graham, this is not beyond him.
No, Corey
so
McKernan back in the goal square.
He's timed it well. He's just given it a hook, though. It won't be a goal. Carey's got it. The King's got it.
He was the only one who didn't get off the ground.
Kicks a goal. That's better.
That's a valid point, Wolsey. When Severio took the mark at centre-half forward, he was the only one in the contest, Wayne Carey, who didn't jump. He shepherded a bit for Severio Rocker. He ran down pretty well. He ran down better than he was moving last week. And the whole pack moves, and he sits at the back. Watch Carey and nothing else. Sits down behind.
Did it well, didn't he?
Yeah.
Eyes on the football all the way, and then smart enough to play on, take the 2 or 3 steps out wide, open up the goal face, and put it through.
And if you're a Kangaroo supporter, come along and watch Wayne Carey for every game he plays in the rest of his career, because you won't realise what you've got until it's gone. One of the greatest players of all time on screen there.
It's going to help him tonight too, that goal, and Mark.
A little bit of confusion among the Cats there. Rahili jumped out of the centre square when Harvey went out. In the end, Kilpatrick's gone in.
Big Stephen King, 4 hit-outs to the Kangaroos, none. So he's dominating there. Free kick on play against Raleigh off the back of the square.
So Burton gets it.
Yes.
He's got it short out wide, and he's going to go Simpson. So Simpson's little one, Makepeace running hard. He's within range almost. 50 out. Not a bad kick. It's a goal. Gee, that hurts the Cats.
Would have come in on.
One of the real disappointing things about that goal for Geelong was that there were 10 Geelong players inside defensive 50, and about 8 of them were within about 10 metres of goal. So there was no pressure on Makepeace as the ball carrier at 50.
4-2 out of the centres in favour of the Cats. Sanderson bravely. Good tackle, though. Sinclair's first tackle. Well, it looked OK from here, but the umpire's closer, and he's pinged him for high. Boy, is that high?
Wouldn't think so. Corey Enright's gone to the goal square for Geelong, taking John Blakey back there. Blakey's been giving too much run off half-back.
Riccardi to Bizzle to Archer. Well played, Archer. Handball. Couldn't get to King. Bizzle. Archie's back did really well. Back to Murphy. Murphy busy, in trouble. Just got the kick away to Kilpatrick. Luckily, I think, Riccardi a left footer, so the give's all right. That's a dangerous kick by Riccardi to fall forward. Kingsley searching. He lost Blakey there. In fact, Blakey lost him. And luckily for Blakey, he was able to belt it over the line.
Good call, Dermot. John Blakey, he's been in terrific form. 34 years of age, rebounding off the half-back flank. And there's no doubt that Bomber Thompson has decided whoever is on John Blakey, take him back to the goal square and get him out of the thick of the action.
Isn't he an amazing story, John Blakey? What is he, 34?
35
Yes.
now.
He runs as quick now as a 35-year-old as he did as a 21.
Yeah, he's just turned 35. The other thing is he's played 103 consecutive matches at 35.
Not a durable character. Same build as Michael Tuck. And the other one with real longevity in this, well, that has played this game.
King gets it to Clayton. An up and under kick. McKernan sets himself, had a couple to beat in the end. He shouldered very well to Mooney. Premiership player with the Kangas. Clark, that's brave by Grant. Stood his ground on him. Little handball by McKernan, didn't go to Raleigh. That was high in the end.
Yeah.
And he gets a free kick.
Great smother by Shannon Grant.
Kangaroo zone back here, Bruce. There's only 2 Kangaroos behind James Raleigh there. Well, there's 16 forward of this spot now with Stephen King.
Kick wide to Kent Kingsley. Blakey with him. Kingsley waited a bit. Blakey will use Pickett, you'd reckon. Goes to Burton. Burton uses Pickett.
He'll definitely use him.
Yep, Pickett's away. Little handball to Sinclair. Sinclair in trouble. Pickett. Handball, not great, but it's going to find a target. They've done all right here, the Kangas. They get it to Grant. Grant short to Carey.
Hasn't got much in front of him. Motlop's about the only Kangaroo down there.
Carey's going to go to him. and he is outnumbered 3-1. Oh, he's taken a beauty. How disappointing is that from Scarlett's point of view?
Well, a good effort by the young fella. He stood his ground, Motlop. He knew that he had to hold his opponent out coming from behind. Helped enormously by the kick from Wayne Carey. He just kept Scarlett out of the contest, used the body very well.
Well, Motlop listed at 184 centimetres, and Scarlett, who plays on some big cats, is 191 centimetres. So there's an 7 centimetre difference there, and a lot of weight as well.
Carey's had 5 possessions, 2 marks, a goal. Here's Motlop, looks all right. Has he squeezed it home? Ooh, yep, he's got it. So now the Kangaroos back in front. So the lead changed a bit here.
Kangaroos are happy to play 7 forwards at their end of the ground. And Geelong to the left-hand side of screen have only got 5 forwards.
So some toing and froing here. Sanderson's been a couple out of the centre for the Cats, coming off half-back. King's handball, pick it brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And then arches his back and then centres the ball. Carey's half a chance. McKernan's there. Mooney had to search for it a bit. Won by Makepeace to McKernan. Can he use Carey here? He's going to go back to Grant. Grant stops and props and then delivers to centre half forward. Rocker had a touch on it. Motlop will kick a second. Round the body he does.
Well, Motlop on Riccardi on the half-back flank. The last goal was he pushed down and forced Riccardi to follow him. Pete Riccardi just called in a teammate and said, I'm better value at the other end, and his new opponent has not adapted to him all that well. I think it's Milburn's gone to pick him up now.
Yeah, spot on, Dermot. He kicked that first goal. He then went to the half-forward line. Riccardi definitely didn't want to go with him. And Riccardi singled out one of his teammates and said, you pick him up. Enright has now picked him up, but the horse has bolted.
And right down the middle of the ground in the Kangaroos forward line, they're just hugging the spine.
So Kangaroos by a couple of goals now. Simpson in there, Spriggs in there, and it'll be a ball up.
This is a good result for the Kangaroos, because I thought when the Cats got 2 goals ahead after being flogged last week, there we go.
He's gone to the goal square for Geelong, Peter Riccardi, Shane Clayton, and you can see the runner going out, probably saying, you stick on him now. We're happy with that. We've been able to get a goal or 2, so you just stay on him now. He was playing on the wing, Clayton.
Early on Carey. Yeah, I thought this was a great result, because I thought Geelong might run away with it. I thought they might have deflated the Kangaroos after they got 2 ahead.
Spriggs' handball to King. King's kick very wide. Kilpatrick and also David King. David King wrapped himself around, wanted a free kick. It was good umpiring. It wasn't there. And then he played it brilliantly to Sinclair. So Archer to King to Sinclair. And again, they've had a loose man out on that wing for most of the quarter.
Finding space, the Kangaroos midfield now. They're not winning all that many hard balls off the deck, but they're just running into space.
Shannon Grant busy with 5 kicks. Makepeace busy. Back to Simpson. The left footer's doing all right. To fall forward. Underneath it was McKernan. At the back, Scholl read it well. He probably wants the boundary line. White's outnumbered, but he did well. He got a good bounce and a lovely handball inboard. Riccardi's look away. OK to Scholl. Scholl got around Martin all right. Mickey just chasing a few shadows. Dangerous kick, but King takes the mark.
Mitchell White outsprinted Mick Martin by about 2 metres over 5 then.
Danger here. Simpson to cut it off on Murphy, and then got a high tackle. He should get a free kick. Back to Rocker. The advantage is given. Now it's going back to Simpson.
Wasn't that a great interception by Simpson? Just got a fingernail on the ball.
How hard is Grant working in this opening term? Really putting himself in here.
7th possession. Mickey Martin's just about ready to blow up, Dermot.
Yeah.
He hasn't had a possession, and he's chased White all over the field.
He probably looked at Mitchell White, a short pass on here. Oh, Jess Sinclair fights. Once again, Kangaroos just running into holes, and they're just chip passing. Geelong really need to tighten up. So many, I suppose, little things that can happen in a game of football for intelligent reasons, but this is just slack manning up by the Geelong players.
Simpson's interception there just got a palm onto it.
Vital.
It was just what they needed. It was a certain pass going to Murphy, and his effort turned it round the other way, and it gives this young man a chance to kick a goal.
I reckon Mick Martin, you were saying before, I reckon he saw Mitchell White as his opponent, thought, great, another ageing bloke with a gammy knee, I'll keep up with him.
Kick by Sinclair. He's just hooked it a bit and through for a behind. You talked about the Tiger left footers this year. Kangaroos have got a few flowing here tonight, haven't they?
Well,
Yep.
they haven't. Saw Sinclair play his best game 3 or 4 weeks back for the Kangaroos. Actually, it was against the Bombers, in that big
yep.
scoring match. Since coming from the Dockers, he hasn't really hit top form.
No, that's a fair comment. He kicked a beauty that day too.
Scarlett in the back pocket.
They're a bit static now, the Cats. And that's a good little bit of run there by Spriggs.
They bring Spriggs on about halfway through the first quarter, and he really does give them plenty of legs, fresh legs.
Good kick. Well weighted to King. King's, even though the last one was cut off, he's been pretty important in this opening turn. Here's Mooney out wide. Now, does he use the run of Clark? No. Comes in board. Neat-looking kick, but Harvey's got it. It was neat off the boot, but it was straight to the opposition. David King to run hard. He's trying to draw someone here. Tucks it under the arm. Another bounce. Shannon Grant's very short. Another bounce. Weaves his way through. Kicks to Rocker. Can Sav take it? He does, but it's a push. It's against him. No, it's not. I thought the umpire actually paid it against him.
I thought he did too.
He signalled, I thought, a push first up.
It was a bit of a shove there. Let's have a look at it. What
Very
about this
good
fella? Every time he gets it, he backs himself. Makes things happen.
It was vital that he did that because every player up the ground, that is a decent shove.
That's a free kick, umpire.
Every player that was up the ground, Kangaroo forward, was actually standing shoulder to shoulder with their backmen. So David King had to take it on and try and break it up a bit to get good penetration deep into the forward line.
Well, Sav should kick it. He's lucky to get away with it. He shoved Harley in the back. Kicks from 45 metres.
Oh. Well, I know Sav, and he's capable now of missing everything tonight. He gets the yips like that.
Well, he hasn't had a good start. Dropped the mark he should have taken, which turned in a turnover goal at the other end, and he misses one he really should have hammered home. Spriggs to King and Burton. Burton did very well that time. Clark just couldn't quite take it. Riccardi, one hand, threw it away. Harley, Spriggs getting some touches as he's just come on. Cut off by McCartney, high tackle.
He's kicked to the wrong player there. He actually looked up and saw McCartney and tried to spot him up. He's got confused there.
I'm telling you, these jumpers are so similar. From a broadcasting point of view, they're hard to tell the difference.
Adam Simpson's kick, it was centimetre perfect, and he's hit Rawlings on the chest at centre half forward. He's a good player, Simpson.
No doubt. Dipper, are we making it up? I mean, from ground level, is there any similarity in the Guernseys?
Yeah, you're spot on there, Bruce. Obviously, the colours do match up, but on ground level, you're certainly are right there. But and some players do get confused. I think, Dermot, you're spot on there.
Thanks, Dipper.
He definitely looked inboard there, Spriggs, and there was only one man inboard, and he hit him on the chest. Unfortunately, it was the opposition.
Always feel better when Dipper agrees with me, but he didn't do it with a lot of conviction. So a hook kick. So the Kangaroos have missed a couple here. They really could have hammered home the edge in this opening term.
Yep, if they had a kick 7 for the quarter, it would have shown up a fair bit of defensive deficiencies in Geelong's first quarter. Tom Harley on the burst.
Gee, Murphy's kick okay. Harley's got it.
He's actually a good bloke to have kicking in, Murphy, because he does have good penetration and he can pass the ball. Another turnover.
Spider's had a good couple of minutes here on kick.
Sav by himself in the middle.
And he lopes away. Oh, gee, he's going to take him on, Spider. He's in trouble now. Oh, no, he's not.
Oh, no.
Have a look at this. Still haven't got him. Then he handballs to the umpire. Back it comes. Sav, inboard. King, like a steam train. Like a real locomotive. A goal. Well, Spider will tell it how he created that at the end of the night.
Yeah.
Did you notice
drew them towards
Did you
him.
notice the way I even fooled the umpire?
The only thing he created, Bruce, was confusion.
Oh, how good is David King?
Well, David King's the most important player to the Kangaroos lineup, in my opinion. He's the one who sets them up. Oh, look, I watched the umpire while Spider was doing his party tricks there. The umpire very nearly put a free kick against him for incorrect disposal.
I think he was enjoying it so much he didn't want to do it.
I tell you what he did do. By dancing around and looking like a goose, he actually drew 2 players very close to him, which left the corridor open for David King to run down. There's the spine,
There's the Kangaroos forward line. You'll see there's just a row of players. They haven't got anyone out in the flanks or the pockets. What it means is there is space now out on the forward flank and forward pocket.
King's not jumping at the bounce down against Spider.
Kicked the last 5 goals here, the Kangaroos. They trailed 3-1 early. They kicked the centre half forward. Rocker almost, gee, Pickett almost had it. Carey, good tackle on him coming from Milburn. Little handball by Harley. They're up against it, the Cats. Quick kick away. Not bad in the end from Wojcinski, who's come onto the ground. Spriggs went without it. Murphy's handball. They need a goal late. Milburn back to Spriggs. Spriggs at centre wing. They need a mark. The siren sounds. So the Kangas get the last 5 goals of the quarter.
Well, for that quarter as well, Bruce, the Kangaroos did not use the bench once, and Geelong were forced to use it on 3 occasions, trying to get the right matchups after, as you say, Kangaroos booted 5 unanswered goals.
And Burton did well late in the quarter. So 6-3 to 3-2 here. Kangaroos lead by 19 points at quarter time as we reflect on 45 years of television and footy. Still haven't got him. Then he handballs to the umpire. Back it comes. Sav, inboard, King, like a steam train, like a real locomotive. A goal. Arguably the highlight of the opening term. It's 6-3 to 3-2. David Kingsby, terrific. Let's go down with the big dipper with Jeff Walsh.
I certainly got Jeff Walsh, Bruce. Well, you guys are always thinking about where to play Carey. You certainly worked him into the game nicely tonight.
Yeah, look, I think it was a good idea from the coaching panel to start him in the midfield. He got a few early kicks, then he went down forward and kicked the goal, and yeah, that's probably a good start for Wayne.
Yeah, absolutely. And one guy who's reached 150 games pretty quickly, Shannon Grant, just given his all, only tonight, but the last 2 months have been fantastic.
Yeah, look, I think for 8 or 10 games in a row, Shannon's probably been their best 2 and 3 and 4 players. So consistency-wise, he's certainly been one of our very best.
Nice to catch up with you, Walshy. Thank you.
Thanks, Tip.
Thanks, Jeff. With Dipper, what about David King's ability to run and draw opponents and create some space?
He's an explosive player and he makes things happen. Sometimes he's not sure where he'll end up himself, but he draws players towards him because he runs and carries the football, and then he can handball over the top. He can set his teammates up, and I think it's an exciting football. I think it's a terrific to have a player like that in your side. There's no doubt with him out over the last couple of weeks, it hurt the Kangas.
Bomber with Milburn entering quarter time.
Yeah, well, Troy Makepeace got 5 possessions in the first quarter off the half-forward flank starvation corner, and Milburn ended up on him. Wouldn't have been too happy with his efforts.
6-3, 3-2, so the Kangaroos kicking the last 5 goals of the opening term, and the Cats are missing a chance, we feel, to have really started well here. They led 3-1, they looked on top, and the Kangaroos then took over. Loser tonight, when you look at Geelong's draw, they've got to go to Adelaide to play Port Adelaide next week. They've then got Brisbane and Carlton. They've just got to win tonight.
Tough run.
New opponent for Motlop, Wojcinski just on the field.
Came on for Cameron Ling tonight, who's pulled out before the game. Simpson on his wrong side to centre half forward, Rocker. Rawlings puts the tackle on Scholl, and then Scholl over the top with Rawlings. Gang tackle in the end, Rawlings ball up. Sanderson down low, Rawlings. So there's the umpires. Steve McBurney, Scott McLaren, Martin Ellis. Kangaroos just in attack here. Over the top, Pickett, well read Sanderson. He didn't really get it away. Got through Grant, though. White's hands were OK to Hocking. Buddha's kick smothered. Well played by Martin. And Burton was fantastic the way he picked it up. Carey and Harley. Awesome bravery from the front. Harvey. It's a goal. Pickett's kicked it. It's a goal. Byron's got it. How good is this bloke in close Pickett? I mean, he had to be so clean with that ball. And he snatched it and kicked it.
The thing about it, have a look at this Spiders kick, and you'll see there's 3 Geelong players fly with Carey. And that means that there's numbers at ground level for the Kangaroos. Harvey gets it, slams it to the goal square, and then in a flash, Byron Pickett puts it on his boot.
Worth a look at this angle, though. Worth a look. That's worth a look.
He was over the line, wasn't he?
I've got to say, Buddha Hocking's miss. He had 3 free-running Geelong players on the outer wing, ready to take off, who were just going to raffle it amongst themselves. He kicked into the back of an opponent. Under pressure, though.
Kicked 6 in a row, the Kangaroos. And they're getting them from everywhere here tonight. They've had 6 different goal scores. Now, here's the line. Now, Pickett looks certainly over it, doesn't he?
It's worth a look, guys. Having said that, only 1 millimetre of the ball needs to be over the line, and it's still deemed in play. So that's a fair kick.
Cats need a goal. Motlop, Harvey, important. Will run and bounce. Vacant goal square. Will he have a shot? He takes Scarlett on. Another bounce. He's worked his way into the pocket. Loads it up. What a goal. How good was that?
Well, Bruce, you'd have to say that was exceptional.
Oh,
He is an excitement machine when he does that.
that was like David King at his best, but it was Brett Harvey at his best, wasn't it?
Last time I saw him do something like that it was when we had State of Origin footy and he was taking on the opposition. He kicked 6 that night, that day, in the wet.
Against South Australia.
And isn't he excited about it? Look, Brett Harvey, David King, John Blakey, they run, they bounce, they carry, they create. And it's a different North Melbourne, different Kangaroos lineup, different style of play that we've seen since round 6 this year.
Kicked the last 7. I'll tell you one thing about them, though. You don't need me to remind you. They've given up a good lead a couple of times in the last 3 weeks. Against Brisbane twice, they led by 26 points. And they led by 69 against the Bombers in the record breaker. So at the moment, they lead by 31.
It looks like Mick Martin has gone to pick up Clint Bizzle now. He's got more toe than Mitchell White, but the thing is, Clint likes to stay relatively close to home.
And Archer's gone on a Mitchell White.
Cats haven't kicked a goal since the 12-minute mark of the opening term. Burton doing really well on King here. Gets it out. Archer. Mickey Martin down low. Grant. Well done, Riccardi. Smothered, though, by Sinclair. They're hunting in packs, the Kangas. Don't know how they can find a way out. They did. Down low, Harley didn't take the mark. Carey, well done. Harvey, clever, innovative. Gets back to Scarlett, though. He's cut off by Spriggs.
Important run there by Spriggs.
Yep, to cut Harvey off. Blakey fancies himself. Out wide. He actually doesn't fancy himself, John Blakey. That's why he's that good.
Yeah.
But he fancied his chances there.
When you...
Shoal up and under.
Oh,
it
poor
bounces
jump.
off Sinclair. David King, they're running hard here. The Kangaroos held up. Reckon they're going in for the kill here, the Kangas, don't you?
Having a real dip. And the kid Joshua Hunt there, just too eager. Just got to temper yourself sometimes. He ran himself under the ball for the mark.
Their last quarter performances this year have been so disappointing, and McCartney playing on Ben Graham doing a pretty good job. I think the Kangaroos, even if they were 10 goals up in the first half, you wouldn't feel comfortable because they can get overrun.
Graham's so important here, isn't he? I mean, he's not in the play at the moment. Kicked 5 last week when they lost. Bomber, he was the one man that Bomber mentioned before the game to Andy Marr. The kick to half forward for the Kangaroos. Shoal quickly onto the boot. This is an important battle here. Well umpired because White fell over there, pushed himself forward. Grant's little kick's a good one to McKernan. He kicked the first goal of the game. It's all happening for Kangaroos here. He's got a couple of shorties. Goes in really short to Makepeace.
You said
Carey
well umpired.
leads.
It was well coached too, because Mick Martin wouldn't have gone with Mitchell White on that sprint.
Pickett's the one to watch at the back and forces it through from behind.
Yeah, because Mick Martin wouldn't have been able to keep with Mitchell White on that sprint up the ground there, and so that affected the turnover. Mitchell White would have got clean hands on it. It'd be at the other end of the ground by now. Good coaching.
He has got some fresh legs on the bench, has Dennis Pagan. He's got some running legs too there. Cochrane, one of them. Another one, McLaren. So Scarlett in. Crowds build up since the opening bounce. Not a bad one. Probably about 30 to 34,000. Murphy at half-back. Cats have got to discover something here. They've got to find some inspiration and find a way home in a hurry.
The Roos haven't made a change at all, Bruce. You mentioned the fresh legs there.
Running to soft spaces, the Cats at the moment, Wolsey. They're just running for an easy reception, easy receive.
Hocking's kick. Spriggs did well. Still with Spriggs, goes back inboard to Clark. Then Clark goes wide. Not a good kick, Motlop. And also with him is Hunt. Ball comes out. Well done, McCartney. He was down low. He had to spray it away. Martin, good hands, Mickey. Stops and props. Uses Spider. Why wouldn't you? He's playing so well. Oh, now trouble. Spriggs would fancy himself to beat the two big blokes. He can't. And Spider does it well.
That was Mickey Martin's first possession. Got the handball, got one back, and he fumbled it, and Big Spider got him out of trouble.
Pickett's kick to half forward. Rocker made a contest. Clayton searching for it. King gets a high tackle, not paid. Back to Grant. Grant shrugs them off. Good kick. McKernan just outside his range. Goes on. He's gone to the left.
Oh.
He's gone to the left.
Oh,
it's a free kick against...
Cameron Mooney has
going to be reported.
Put Sinclair down. He's been reported, and rightfully so.
So what happens here? I mean, McKernan's running into open goals at a 50 metres. I mean, where does the free kick get taken right now?
Where he was at the time of the infringement.
So,
now, he was forward of where the free kick was given.
So in a way, the Kangaroos are disadvantaged here if the ball comes back to where Sinclair was.
Yep, that's what he called it, an anomaly of the game.
Sinclair was doing a shepherding job for Corey McKernan. We saw Corey take the mark, play on, have a bounce. He was trying to straighten up to get on his right foot.
Let's have a look at it in the
Mooney,
box, Walsey.
Here we see Sinclair in the bottom right corner.
That's against Rawlings. It's already happened.
It's already happened, yeah. That was the second one. And Sinclair was put down before that.
Cam Mooney would have played with Sinclair, would have played with all these guys.
Not Sinclair. Sinclair would have been. Sinclair would have been in the Dockers when
he
Mooney was playing.
Yeah, sorry. Rawlings and those fellows, he would have.
Coming off with the blood rule, it seems.
Do you reckon Corey McKernan punched him in the nose so he could have the kick? I mean, it's a better result McKernan from there than Sinclair, isn't it? Just joking, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you can see what I mean. McKernan's streaming into goal, and now the ball's got to come back. Carey's
arguing the point.
Yeah, I think Carey's saying, well, it's disadvantaged us. But, look, forget all that. He's within goal-kicking distance. It's not a tight angle. He should kick a goal.
He should.
I would imagine that the rule actually states, I think the umpires have mistaken it here. I think the free kick should be for the team where they were carrying the ball at the time of the infringement. They've awarded it where the infringement was made away from the ball.
It's one of those that's perfect for someone to say, what would happen in the grand final?
Yeah.
You know those?
Well, he's shot on goals now.
I like the kick. It's a good hit. It's a goal.
He'll come off, Mooney.
Now, right-hand screen, you're going to have to look really closely here. McKernan's away. No, we want to get in.
Yep.
Shannon Grant's the player who's just dominating in at the centre. He's had 12 possessions twice this quarter. He's hit McKernan with perfect passes.
Well, this is a poor effort by Geelong, isn't it? As well as the Kangaroos are playing, season on the line, and they're offering no resistance.
That's an untidy tackle by Byron Pickett, but he's always going to get to you.
Kilpatrick to Murphy. Cats haven't kicked a goal since the 12-minute mark of the first quarter. Kingsley got rid of his man, but it'll be a boundary throw in.
And Kilpatrick's come on for David Clark, and when Mooney went to the bench, nobody gave him a hand, no one sprayed to him, and I think they were pretty disgusted on what happened.
I saw Timmy McGrath held out the hand for like the low 5 when he came off the ground, and Mooney just ran straight past him. Inside 50s, 13-11, and only 5-2 in the second quarter in favour of the Kangaroos.
McCartney just gets it out of the 50. Well played, Simpson, because Hocking was in the van. Makepeace ridden into the ground. Back to Riccardi. Can kick a long goal. They need it. Loads it up. He's missed. Sprayed it away. Out on the full.
Buddha Hocking's got 6 possessions at the moment, which... He sounds all right, but it's not enough. He needs to start finding more of the ball if his team are to try and claw back some of this lead.
Mickey's kick is sprayed a bit. It just kept floating away, didn't it?
I get criticised sometimes when I say they don't want Mick to get the ball, and people say, how can you say that about elite football? Well, it's true. He's just a great stopper, Mick, a great servant, but you don't want him to have the thing.
Good mark. Bizzle used Archer really cleverly there.
Yes, he did well. And he's just very good overhead. He's turned his back on the mark, which you don't like to see. Always turn around and know where the man on the mark is.
And Dipper, we got young Jess Sinclair ready to come back on.
It certainly is, Dermot, and Joey McLaren coming off, so I'll probably get a cheer by the crowd here.
Gee, Dipper.
Why don't you know?
You're not only a great boundary rider, you're a choreographer of some note. Here's
this is
Bizzle.
an important kick.
They do need it, don't they? It's kick one. We're behind him.
Got in close.
It's got it. 9 goals to 4, so a desperate goal for Geelong. Bizzle with 2 now. Back to 32 points. 38 the big margin, but the Kangaroos have coughed up big leads, which could cost them dearly at the end of the year. Riccardi out of the centre, kicks to half forward. Kilpatrick, and chance here for Kilpatrick. Might not win to ground. Kilpatrick strolls in and hits the post. Big miss.
Well, he adjusted his run to try and straighten up to the goals and just mishit it. Unhappy Cat supporter, obviously.
Kilpatrick trying to drag King away from the thick of the action. He's trying to get into that forward pocket to take David King away from where the ball is across halfback and wing.
Oh,
King's
that's
poor kick to Hocking.
No, it wasn't touched. Gee, I thought it had a bit of a smother on it then. It's got Kilpatrick again. Play on, son. Oh, gee, I don't trust him with a set shot, even from there.
So a game that's had a lot of twists and turns, suddenly turning again Geelong's way, but they're a long way back now.
Kangaroos just aren't running forward into those little open spaces over the last 3 or 4 minutes. I know it's just a brief period of time. It's hard to work out if there is a trend occurring, but...
Dipper, with the Kangaroo bench, you'd think that Dennis Pagan might start to think about using fresh legs.
We're behind Kilpatrick. That's a better kick. He's kicked a goal.
Well done.
Yeah, Wolsey, I mean, obviously...
So Kilpatrick on the march here, trying to get his man. It's Simpson. Oh, no, David King who's got away from him. So the Cats were the last two. Now Simpson out of the centre. Here's Kilpatrick and King's marked it.
What happened, Bruce? King came in for the centre bounce, and then at the last minute, he just pushed out. It's definitely a ploy that Dennis Pagan uses, because Kilpatrick was trying to drag King into the back line. He just ran out, and you can see he's by himself, and a quick kick out, and it's paid off. Great coaching.
Talk about retribution in the space of a minute. He's got a chance here to get it back, because it was his bad kick that resulted in Kilpatrick's goal a moment ago. He knows it too, doesn't he?
Yeah, it wasn't a lot of body contact there. Could have really put some pressure on King as he was running forward with the flight of ball.
Well, he's a goal kicker. He's become a goal kicker, certainly on the run. Now he hooks it. That's the way he does it. Good-looking kick. He's got it.
You're right saying he hooks it, and he kicks with his strength. So many people look and say goal kicking is about running straight down the line, straight at the target. And yeah, sure, that's copybook stuff. But if you've developed a slight flaw in your kicking as a kid, play to the strength that you've got. And David King is smart enough as a footballer to realise, I'm a hook foot, live with it. So he does, even in his set shots, allow himself margin for error.
So did Simpson find him, or did it just happen to fall that way?
Oh, look, it was a little bit of luck, but they had an extra player across half forward.
So
and King now looks like Riccardi's going to chase him. And they'll just keep running around that centre square, trying to create a bit of confusion. He's gone now to centre half back, and he's on Hunt, the young Geelong player, only his 3rd game. Brett Harvey now is pushed across half forward.
So the Kangaroos get one of the two back in a hurry and maintain a good lead. Simpson again getting it from Burton. Up and under. Oh, good. Harvey nearly took a spectacular mark. Spriggs, Hocking took a long time. Gets it back to Scholl. Not a good kick. Ball bouncing. Graham unable really to get into the game. White might use him here. He does. The captain, the kick. Grant can't get a finger to it. Murphy should kick a goal, and he does. And the Cats are coming back.
I reckon as a team, we've heard once already this season Bomber Thompson say after a horror run of games about round 6 or 7, he said, we've bottomed out. And it was a very true call. They've been very good if you split the season in 2 halves. The last half, the last 9 games have been pretty good. I reckon they've bottomed out in this game already. I reckon they can only improve from here.
Ben Graham very clever with that kick. Just the chip kick to Murphy running towards centre half forward, and what a clever kick by Murphy to bend that across his body.
Just to back you up, Dermot, they haven't lost 2 in a row, the Cats, since round 7.
Yep.
So they have been very, very consistent. Had a lot of close games. Right now they trail by 4 goals, but they've worked back. They've kicked 3 of the last 4. Kilpatrick's kicked the centre half forward. Archer takes off very early and takes the mark.
Jeez, he was desperate, wasn't he?
Probably had to hold it in a way. Almost a free kick if he didn't.
Run and bounce, Blakey.
To King.
Run and bounce, King.
I was going to say in trouble, but he's now in trouble. Back to Blakey. Now they'll use Harvey, I reckon. King does now. Harvey short to Simpson. Simpson's been terrific. Back to Harvey.
We won't run this kid.
Back to Blakey. Blakey loads it up. Can Carey take one? One out. Front spot. Shannon Grant. Right foot. Goal. Plumbing, roving goal. Well, Dennis Pagan created front and square, the terminology. That's real front and square with Shannon Grant, wasn't it?
Complete.
They keep the scoreboard ticking over here, the Kangaroos. It's so important for them because you know the Cats are going to score against them.
Well, they're always going to keep doing that as long as Wayne Carey has an effect in the game, whether he's kicking them or not.
Clayton's kick found Rawlings front spot. Little give to Makepeace. Not sure about that.
Timmy McGrath's picked up Makepeace.
Carey
now.
sets himself. Almost, yes.
Play on.
Well, he should pay it for
posterity.
well, for the romance of the game.
Yeah, true.
I hope we can see that marking contest because Big Sav was pretty brave. You can see Sav coming in. Now, that is brave by Sav Rocker.
I'd pay that.
No,
oh, no, I wouldn't. I didn't realise it hit the ground. I thought he was the only one to get a clutch on it at the start. Yeah, no, he grasped it.
It's a good call, but it was a good effort too. Rawlings over the top. Pickett dangerous. Pickett dangerous. Across the face. Clayton might get onto this. It hasn't gone out. Clayton's in the pocket. Still Clayton. Squares it. Hocking. Well played. And put us away.
Doesn't want to play on. There's nothing ahead. This is an important one.
Archer just got rid of White, didn't he? Made sure, and then Simpson gets back.
That's a good coaching move, Archer, onto Mitchell White.
McCartney. Back to Archer.
Keeps it corridor, Bruce.
Kickers have got the legs. Riccardi did well.
He's been good this quarter, Peter Riccardi. 7 possessions for him for the match.
Graham short out wide if he wants him. That's his captain.
Gee, they need Benny Graham in the game.
Murphy on his own here. Here's trouble. Murphy away. Held up a bit. Waits to kick for Scarlett beautifully. It's a great kick by Murphy.
Well, Scarlett's run 100 metres plus. He's really taken off, and Big Sav just couldn't go with him. Great kick in the end. Now, he's covered 100 metres to get down there. He's playing at centre-half back for the Cats, Matthew Scarlett, on Sav Rocker. Realises that Sav's deficiency is his ability to cover ground, so he's exposed him there.
He's only kicked the 1 goal this year. It was an important one when he kicked at Scarlett. Has he got a second one? He's got it.
Dermot Battle in the midfield, Shannon Grant on Justin Murphy. They've both had 13 possessions. They're playing pretty wide of each other.
It's a shootout, isn't it? As a former coach of mine would say, you could fit the Queen Mary between the two of them.
Well, they're just doing their own thing at the moment.
And it's whoever is the most damaging for their team gets the advantage.
Ben Graham still just the 1 mark, but his team are coming back hard. Murphy's handball out of the centre. Harvey cuts it off, uses Sinclair. Heavy traffic. Back to King, who better to go to. King wide. Clayton's a runner. Now, forced to go here, Harley, to put the pressure on. Can Clayton be clean? McKernan, OK. Probably should have been better to leave it in the end for Harvey. And now McKernan's in trouble. Harley comes across the front. Kilpatrick to Spriggs. Spriggs, centering kick, straight to David King. Decided not to go on. Graham on the mark.
Gee, Carey's got a break.
And he's going to go to him. Harvey will leave it for Carey. Well, he didn't in the end. He went in front of him.
Yeah, good coaching by Wayne Carey there. He called him in and protected the young man's back. And I tell you what, if Wayne Carey actually said, yours, I'll protect you, you'd feel pretty confident. That's a team stat there, and it won't go down on any statistical sheets you see in the... Yeah, he didn't even want it, Carey. He just protected the back in case there was an oncoming slaughterman from the Cats' defence.
Had a big quarter, Harvey, lining up for his 15th possession of the game.
Going for a second goal. His first one in this quarter was outstanding. He's hooked it. It won't be a goal. In fact, Sav's taken a mark in the pocket.
Now, he really needs this.
He does need it, doesn't he? He's only had 3 touches for the game.
He's got a great view here.
What's he do, Dermot? Run out,
well,
put it back.
Sav's the kind to run out and lay it across his body. I'd prefer he run back. There he goes.
He's got it. It's a goal.
Yeah, Ben Graham going into the ruck. He's been struggling to get hold of the football. Good move by Mark Thompson. Graham into the ruck and Stephen King to full forward.
Second quarter's become a shootout here. Kangaroos keeping the scoreboard ticking over Riccardi. Important. Good battle there. A little toe poke by Bizzle. Martin able to hold him up, and then Mickey just hacks it out of the contest and boots it wide. Hunt just stopped on McLaren there. McLaren back. Simpson clever, well played. Little kick to King was terrific, and King's away. Geez, run hard. Harvey running for him. King's to centre wing. Centering kick, McKernan the man. Carey at the back. Well played that time by Milburn. Clayton, his run's important. Handball clever to Motlop. Motlop maybe a high one. And then Clayton did get a high one. Play on called, and the Cats in the end manhandle them and get the ball. Riccardi's kick to White and Archer. Archer had to do well, and he did, because White was trying to turn him inside out. Simpson mopping up. Good-looking kick. King takes the mark. Their good players are doing well, aren't they?
15th possession for King.
Not enough players are forward of that half-back line for Geelong. When they win it, it's a 1-on-2 at best for them at half-forward.
Carey almost couldn't quite. Ridden into the ground, I thought Scholl gets a free kick.
Now, this is the tough kick, because there is nothing ahead here. They're selling themselves into trouble. This kick here, where do they go?
Well, Sanderson...
back there, and there's nothing there.
See, Simpson's playing a kick behind, and he's just mopping up everything.
He's had 17 possessions, Simpson. Clayton the link.
Got a goal
to
here,
Rawlings. Rawlings 49 out. Gives it all he's got. It's a goal.
Had to go. Now, that's not coaching. That's just dumb play by your footballers out on the ground for the Cats.
And yet the Kangaroos are constructing some clever goals here, aren't they?
Yep.
They are, and Adam Simpson is just playing a terrific game across, well, I was going to say half back, but it's more through the midfield. Kangaroos having the ball in their front half most of the time, and Rawlings just off 1 or 2 steps kicks that ball 55 metres. Geelong
are allowing the ball to be played inside their own defensive half for too long.
13-7 here, so we're back to 37 points. David King just huge in this term and this match.
And look, you just got to have someone run shoulder to shoulder with him.
Burton versus Graham. Graham probably won the tap. Clayton, King again.
They play through him all the time.
To centre half. Well, Spider's doing a great job here.
Wojcinski has gone back onto David King, but they're playing him from 10 or 15 metres away.
McKernan and Carey take off. McKernan sets himself. Well done, Harley. Milburn under the pump. Handball wide, okay. Murphy. Handball was terrific by Murphy. Under pressure to Harley. Harley's kick along the line, okay, to White. White looks in pretty good form tonight.
Now, this has got to be Clint Bizzle should be the next target.
Well, he put some pressure on Wojcinski. Now Clark, haven't seen much of him. Running hard, as he always does. Not a good kick. Martin should be able to spoil it. McGrath's on the ground. McCartney to Mickey, to King. King had to half volley it, rides the tackle, finds some space, bangs it long to centre wing. Oh, good mark. Simpson, what a game. He and King are having terrific matches. Speaking of King, can't quite take the mark, Kerry. Brought his man to ground in Milburn. Milburn doing well. Scholl, Sanderson, got away from Pickett. That's not easy. Goes back. Important little period coming up here. Simpson cuts it off again. Has a second go. Rocker, inboard. Burton. Had King outside of him. Spider delivers. McKernan, well done at the back. Harley belts it away. Harvey just misses the target. Spriggs to get back. Geelong to mop up. Goes to Kilpatrick.
Got to get a half forward to come up now.
Milburn, well, he's had an airy. Makepeace down low. Ridden into the ground. Play on call. Ball still to be won. Buddha wins it. Gets it out wide. Murphy fishes for it a bit. Needs an accurate kick. He is a good kick. Bizzle's the go. Found him. Good mark.
He's got a free runner out the outside. It's Kingsley, I think.
Gives Archer a chance, though. He's good at these, Archer.
Oh, gee, that's a brave mark. It is just a terrific mark. He's taken 2 super courageous marks this quarter, Glenn Archer.
No goal here, the Roos.
David King has had 10 handball receives in the first half.
Have a look at the rebound here. Motlop. Still Motlop. He's going to get within range now. He's kicked 2. He's going to load it up and bang it home. From one end of the ground to the other. You picked it early, Dermot.
There was just... Oh, Geelong just... Look, they're brave and they have a go, but look, as a basic team, they're pretty dumb.
How big was Glenn Archer's mark?
Well, it was a super mark. He just ran with the flight of the ball, eyes on it. We see him there. That is what courage is about. Doesn't know what's coming his way, sets himself and takes the mark.
Woolsey and Dermot, if someone said to you, how did Glenn Archer play the game? You just show him that mark.
Yeah.
That's how he played the game.
Yeah.
Well, they've got their kicking boots on again tonight, the Kangaroos. 14-4. What was it last week? 3-18.
3-18, I think. David King's had 10 possessions. He is coming off the half-back flank. There's a head only a mother could love, isn't it?
Stephen King off the ground down here, boys. He's been run ragged.
Thanks, Andrew. So 14 goals to 7 here.
And when I say with respect, they're playing dumb footy, the Cats players.
Riccardi. Well, Archer's going to mop it up again.
That's got to hurt. Well done, too, by young Spriggs to run at it. That's brave by both men there.
Archer's had a huge minute, hasn't he? The Kangaroos have had a very big first half.
See how Archer held it then and wouldn't release until he knew he was going to get it into a teammate's hands? Geelong, half a dozen times in the last 10 minutes, have just blazed away under pressure in their own back line, and it comes back at them twice as quick as it's left them.
They may do a switch up here, the Kangas. They haven't been able to get a loose man, though, to come out this way completely. So Blakey's in the back pocket.
Are they happy to go into half-time now, I reckon?
It's a 43-point margin. They led by 69 3 weeks ago.
Would you still be nervous about this margin if the siren blew now, Wolsey, after half-time?
I would be, yep. Well, they just get overrun. Cats are younger.
McCartney at half-back. Goes long. Played the percentages here. McKernan, well done. Graham at the back. They need a huge second half out of their captain. Pickett puts the tackle on Scarlett. Martin, well, he couldn't take it. Motlop taken off him. Little kick okay. Coming from Wojcinski. Wojcinski short. Now, this is Corey Enright.
They've only got a few seconds to get a shot on goals here.
Bizzle running to the goal square. Put it on his head.
He's uncertain, the kid.
Spriggs around the back.
Long kick. Right to the goal square. Spriggs was at the back. Grant, well done. Simpson's hooking kick, not so good for Harvey. They might get away with it at the back. Kilpatrick, handball inboard. Now Graham might kick a captain's goal here. Comes inboard, 55 out. They need it. He hasn't really hit it. And Simpson's marked it.
Well, he's played a kick behind everything, Adam Simpson, and just mopped up all night.
Here's Grant. He's got Blakey outside of him. He knows that. He's just drawing. Little kick good to make peace.
Simpson's had 20 possessions, not even half-time.
And King's had 17. And Shannon Grant's had 15.
Yep.
They're good players. They're getting a lot of the football. Simpson back to Blakey there.
They're happy to play keepings off here until the half-time break.
Blakey running hard.
Just waiting for Archer.
So Archer now to chase. McLaren to help him.
Good kick.
And finds the line. And that's half-time.
Well played, Roos. Intelligent footy.
So an 8-goal quarter after a 6-goal opening term. The Cats got back in that term, and then the Kangaroos went right away again, and they lead by 7 goals at half-time. So that's the situation here. Mark Williams will be our guest at half-time. He's playing against the Cats in a week's time. He's got the Saints tomorrow. Port Adelaide seemingly on their way to a top 4 berth, and I'll be back with Dermot and Wolsey to have a look at the first half. Well, we've had some highlights in the opening half. This is the daddy of them all. Gee, Harvey worked for this goal, didn't he? He really constructed it in the end, decided to go all on his own, and then delivered in the pocket, crossed the face of goal, and kicked the outstanding goal of the first half. And the Kangaroos have had some beauties, but that takes the cake. The goal scorers for the Kangaroos, Motlop's got 3, and a couple to King and 2 to McKernan, and Bizzle 2 for Geelong. So that's the situation at half-time, 14-4 to 7-3. David King hasn't played the last 2 weeks. Boy, have they missed him. How good's he been tonight?
Well, one thing I love about Kingy at the moment is that most of his handball receives, he's running corridor. I know he's coming out wide here and he ends up kicking out wide. But most of the time he wins at Wolsey, he runs through the corridor and it gives supply to the forwards, receiving from somebody coming through the direct centre of the ground.
He's become their go-to player, hasn't he? And look, he's hard and tough. He does all of those things, but he does draw opponents to him with his bouncing. He runs and bounces and players come at him, but again, plenty of courage, and that was a coaching goal.
He's had 11 handball receives, King. Twice as many as any other player on the ground, except for this man, Adam Simpson, who must be pressing him for best on the ground.
Well, Simpson just gets better and better. Look, he's played a role where he's virtually a kick behind the play. They've just had him sitting back across half-back and across the wing, and I think he's had 20 possessions, Bruce, in the first half.
What about Wayne Carey? How have you seen his role in the opening half?
I think he's been really serviceable, Wolsey. He's not the same player that he used to be. You know, he won't jump off the ground. He's kicked, he's got his hands on the footy. He kicks this goal. But just the things like this, shepherding, you know, Brent Harvey before, getting in behind his teammates and team orientation, he's got so many involvements, even if he doesn't win the game off his own boot. Like that one there, he's just shepherded at the back there purposely.
Good move, I reckon, by Dennis Pagan to let him start in at the centre bounces. The first 10 or 12 minutes, he got a few touches and just lifted his confidence.
What about the flexibility of the Kangaroos? They are a different unit to the one that was front and square, Pagan's paddock over the years, aren't they?
Well, we have a look at this here, and they go sideways, they go backwards, they handball to each other, and Dennis Pagan, well, 7, 6, 5, 4 years ago, he would have been tearing his hair out, but he realises that they have to change their game plan because no longer have they got Pagan's paddock, no longer have they got Wayne Carey standing at centre-half forward as the champion player of the competition, and full credit to them, they've adapted well.
Justin Murphy for the Cats, how's he played, do you think?
He's got a fair bit of the ball, but he's been running wide of his opponent, and look, he wouldn't lay a tackle a match probably, he just doesn't go near his opponent, and he's won a bit of it. I just reckon he needs to hurt them a little bit more with his foot passing, especially his handball. His handball isn't strong either.
Glenn Archer, the last 15 minutes of that second quarter, it was vintage stuff.
He loved it.
It was.
Oh, yeah.
Look, he took 3 of the best marks you could ever wish to see, and when you see a player doing that, you know that his mind's set. He's come to play tonight, he's come for his team to win, and not only does he feel good about that, but his teammates, they just lift.
Speaking of feeling good, they wouldn't be doing that right now at Geelong. Let's go down outside the rooms to Andrew Marr.
No, Bruce, they were a really dispirited group as they came off the ground. The one good thing is the Bombers got no injuries to worry about. Stephen King came off the ground. They've been running him up and down the ground. As soon as he went to full forward, came off the ground exhausted. Bombers will be filthy about their lack of midfield accountability. They've just let Kangaroos blokes run free. You see them getting ahead of the ball, and they have not been able to stick a tackle here tonight. Biggest problem they've got is the Kangaroos, though. They've come here to play. They are red hot tonight.
Thanks for that, Andrew. So that's the situation at halftime. Mark Williams is going to join me right after this. We're going to a break with your favourite show,
all right.
Sports World.
This Sunday on Sports World, up close and personal with Ian Thorpe. Is there anything that scares you?
But the only concern that I have within swimming is that I don't reach my full potential. That's the only concern that I have in sport.
That's Sunday on Sports World.
Welcome back. You can see that Mark Williams has joined us, the coach of Port Adelaide. Mark, welcome. Great view from here, isn't it?
Sure is.
Better than the coach's box?
Yeah, it is actually. You know, it's right in the middle and it's a little bit high.
What have you thought of the Cats? You've got to play them in a week's time, haven't you? You don't get a chance, I guess, to see games against the opposition coming up because you're in Adelaide so much.
Yeah, it's always a little bit difficult, and any chance we get, we certainly take it. You know, all our coaching staff are here tonight, but you know, I thought they started off pretty well and probably haven't shown as good as they'd hoped, but you know, North are really on fire now, and I suppose that they're hoping that North will fade in the second half, and you know, they've got a lot of young legs, so hopefully they can get back on board.
How big's the last fortnight been for Port Adelaide? Over the Bombers and then the Crows. Two blockbusters back in your home state.
Yeah, very much so. The fact that you know, we went to Brisbane and lost there and had to come back from Brisbane to play Essendon was always going to be a tough couple of weeks, and to get one of those wins was fantastic for us, and then to back it up after all the emotional high of beating Essendon was great for us to beat Adelaide.
How important also to come here now, because you're going to have to play a final somewhere in Melbourne at some stage this year, aren't you? Yeah. And you've got a chance tomorrow against a team that's struggling here at Colonial.
Yeah, look, our record, as you know, would I think it's only 5-1 against St Kilda. The first time we beat them was this year. We've always found it pretty difficult. We haven't actually played them in Adelaide very often, and that is a little bit of a variant stat. And I suppose North Melbourne's the same. We hardly played them in Adelaide either. But, you know, we have found it difficult to play here. Obviously, their tall marking forwards have always given us a lot of trouble, and, you know, thankfully a few of them are out.
Your captain's playing his 100th game tomorrow. What a leader he is, Matthew Primus.
Yeah, look, it's been a great move, probably both for Matty and for Gavin. You know, Gavin's had one of his best seasons ever, and Matty's been just a godsend, if you like, the way that he's carried himself both on and off the field. He's really carried a lot of our team around, and I suppose it's a year after, you know, the year after his knee injury. So, you know, it's taken a year to get back, and to be a ruckman and to have to play with major knee surgery straight away was difficult, but, you know, he's coming back to his best form. But, you know, as far as his leadership is concerned, I still think he's got, you know, more improvement to go, and we really look forward to him, you know, his future with the club.
Good luck for tomorrow and the rest of the season, Mark.
Thanks.
It's been a terrific one so far. Ansett Cup and now through to the finals. Right about talking footy, Chris Grant from the Bulldogs will be our guest on Tuesday night.
I said something like it's a distraction, but the distraction was people asking me about Fremantle. The distraction wasn't about my contract.
A new coach always wants to prove that he can get the best out of a player, so I've got no doubt Thomas would say, leave Everett to me, I'll work through him.
St Kilda, I believe, in the next week or two will offer Grant Thomas a 2 to 3 year contract. I reckon that if he doesn't get the job, that Rod Butters and Tim Watts won't be around next year either, but I don't think that'll be the case. I think Grant Thomas will be the coach.
Talking Footy, 10:40 Tuesday night.
Welcome back. Well, at halftime when we were talking to Mark Williams, this was going on behind us. The Big Dipper in the AFL Auskick Legends match. 18 AFL stars from the past with their children. It's just been terrific to watch it go on.
Beaten for the hard ball there too, Dipper.
I reckon Dipper's looking just great. Gary Lyon put a hard one on him at one stage. Here we go. Oh, look at that. But the Big Dip, he bounced back. In fact, the whole roof bounced when that happened. It shook. But we've survived, and so's Dipper. Dipper, that was good fun.
Yeah, thanks very much, Bruce. We had a lot of fun, didn't we, kids, eh? Yeah. Of course, catching up with the old stars again, but the kids are the future, and of course, Auskick is alive all around Australia, so make sure that you get a chance to go to your Auskick station. And kids, what are we saying to Bruce? G'day! G'day, Brucey! Back to you, boys.
Oh, good on you, Dipper. Gee, some of the blokes have put on a little bit of... Dipper looks in great shape compared with the couple we just saw. Was that Paul Couch a moment ago?
Well, Couch is actually starting to resemble his name. He's looking like a couch. In fact, I think he's been eating the cushions off the couch.
Well, back to serious matters for a moment. It's been fun for the Kangaroos. They laid 14 goals 4 to 7 goals 3 at half-time. It's a massive lead. And Geelong's season, well, it's on the line. If they lose tonight, surely they won't play in the finals this year.
Well, Wolsey, you said that they'll get run over to a certain degree. Will it be by 7+ goals?
I think the next 15 minutes are all important to the outcome of the game if the Kangaroos can hold the Cats, because no doubt the Cats will come back. Mark Thompson would have spent 20 minutes just getting them up, making a few positional changes, and I've got no doubt the Cats will come out firing the next 15 minutes. If the Kangaroos can withstand that, I think the Kangaroos will end up winning the game. Interestingly, Kangaroos on the bench have started with the same 4 players that they started the game with. So Dennis Pagan showing a lot of faith in the older brigade, and no doubt as this second half wears on, we'll see more of Cochrane, McLaren, Spall and Teague.
Wolsey, they haven't won a quarter after half-time, the Kangaroos, in the last 3 weeks. Not one quarter after half-time.
And no doubt Mark Thompson would have been ramming that down the Cats' throat, so expect them to come out and have a real go.
Big Benny Graham's gone to the full forward square with Clint Bizzle and their respective opponents left of screen.
Well, they need a huge return from Graham and probably from Bizzle too. He's kicked a couple, Bizzle.
Riccardi into the centre again. He went in there for, well, that little revival they had during the second quarter. He got a couple of centre bounce clearances, so he's in there again. What the Kangaroos will do now, once that first bounce been affected, a second one taking place now, they just get numbers in here because they're pretty good at just mauling the ball.
So watch what happens over the next quarter of an hour. Can the Cats make a run?
There's Riccardi.
It's pretty good in the second quarter, Riccardi. David King looking for a free kick and getting it in the end.
His opponent is young David Clark, and he's gone shoulder to shoulder with King, so that'll be the move by Mark Thompson. Get on King, don't let him get a metre away from you.
Clayton was an important link, I thought, for the Kangaroos in the second quarter. Harvey wide, geez, a good player, gets a second crack, back to Clayton. Clayton forced just to kick hard and high now to half forward. Rawlings underneath it. At the back of him was Wojcinski. Ball comes out, back to Rawlings. Rawlings hooking, floating, probably going out on the full, and it is.
Look, if David Clark can sit on David King, and even if Kingy gets it another 10 to 15 times in this half, if you can get it and restrict him and just maul him and say, let him have free kicks from a static start, that's a win. Because King has been splitting them open, play on footy, through the back of the square, kicking it into their own forward line.
That was Hunt a moment ago, not Wojcinski. Short kick, okay. Spriggs did really well to take a finger tipper. Spriggs short. McGrath, who came off the interchange in the second quarter.
Good run by him to create then. They're pretty static here still, the Cats. All the leads are running away from the kicker.
Milburn's come down the ground and they all leave it. Murphy and Milburn leave it and Simpson takes a mark. Embarrassingly for the Cats in that situation.
If the Kangaroos kick the first goal of this quarter, it's just about all over.
Stephen King.
Here's a show.
Graham at the back. McCartney, strong body. Kingsley goes back to White. White's handball to Murphy. Murphy, good finisher. Left foot, measured it. Looks okay. Has he squeezed it home? Just missing, I think. So Murphy kicked a second quarter goal round the turn. 14-4 to 7-4. Harvey goes short to Blakey. Now Blakey forced to go here to Martin. Mickey just up and under to centre wing. Rockers fly was okay.
Good presentation there by Severio, wasn't it?
Sanderson to McGrath. They're controlling the footy here, the Cats.
Controlling it wide, though. They can't bring it through the corridor like the Kangaroos do the opposite way.
And it's a bit slow too, isn't it? They've just got to get some quick play ongoing.
Well, when they go out wide, Wolsey, as we see, the Kangaroos get back with numbers. It gives them time to cut them off at the pass.
Got Mitchell White and Ben Graham in the forward 50.
Kingsley on lead.
So McGrath's kick White's at the back. Archer again, almost a beauty. He was pushed forward and runs it over the line.
Inside 50s for the match, Bruce. Kangaroos 31 and Geelong 27 times. So for only 4 less occasions, they're still 46 points behind.
Playing with desperation, isn't he, Archer?
Simpson's read it best. Now Graham to put the pressure on. Spriggs in there. Spriggs getting busy here. And the Kangaroos finding the line.
David Spriggs up the other end of the ground there. Milburn is now playing on Wayne Carey, and Carey has the entire forward 50 to himself.
Just a reminder about i7sport.com.au for you get all the teams here tonight for Sunday's match when the squads are reduced to 22. See who the Bombers have to leave out. They've got a couple of doubtful players again tonight.
There is danger here, Wolsey, because the Kangaroos are trying to shut this game down now. They're actually just trying to swarm around the bounce downs and stop the run, and they're creating less themselves. It might unfold in a few minutes, but at the moment they've stopped running themselves.
I wonder if that was the plan, Dermot, whether Dennis Pagan said, look, don't worry too much about scoring in the first 15 minutes of this third quarter, just deny Geelong the footy.
Archer's kick, Scholl and Motlop. Scholl almost, and then got down low. Sinclair did well not to give the free away a ball up.
Gee, if that is the plan, you're playing into the hands of letting the other team dictate terms, though, and a comeback.
Oh, but let's go back to the Essendon game. When they played the Bombers a couple of weeks ago, it was a shootout from start to finish, and it ended up costing the Kangaroos. Maybe they've decided, well, let's just close things up 10 or 15 minutes and make sure that the Cats run out of time to kick the 10 goals that are needed to win the match.
Grant's kick to centre wing and a boundary throw in. So not much happening in the first 5 minutes of the second half. A real shootout in the first half, 14 goals to 7. Kilpatrick, Mooney, Raleigh, Wojcinski. And when we saw the Kangaroo bench a moment ago, 3 of those players we haven't seen tonight, and McLaren's only been on for a moment, so there is plenty of freshness there. Ball forced forward to half forward. Good grab over the top taken by Enright.
Winning the ball here, the Cats, but he'll probably have to go straight down the line here. And what they'd really want is quick ball change into the middle and burst through the centre. No, he's gone for the other one. Murphy breaks free, finds himself down the line, but they're out wide again. Static play again, Bruce.
Yeah, they've just got to play on, don't they? Take some risks, move the ball quickly. They've got Ben Graham up there.
Tackles 5-1 Kangaroos this quarter, so that's the real scragging. Hunt's kick to set up on Bizzle. Oh, he had it. It's a big miss, really. McCartney to Carey. And Carey's got nowhere to go now. Pickett's going to come for him, I think. Carey's going to have to go to Pickett eventually. A 4th bounce. He's working the line. And then a great kick, Carey. That's a fantastic kick. Over the top to Rawlings.
Ran and carried the ball, Wayne Carey. 3 bounces and then the pass long to Rawlings.
And Rawlings kicked to the goal square. Rocker, McKernan it was at the front. Rocker at the back. And forced to the line, hitting the point post, boundary throw in.
Well, almost 7 minutes into the third quarter, neither team has scored a goal. Dennis Pagan would be happy. Mark Thompson would be worried.
It's a good result, isn't it, for the Kangaroos at this stage?
It's amazing. The Cats have been inside 50 about 4 times. The Kangaroos only once, yet they look the more dangerous.
Rocker over the back, flick back, McGrath and Harley. Harley's read it best now. He can run away. Clayton to put pressure on him. Harley's kicked all one-on-one. Bizzle worked hard to the front, did well, and then let himself down.
Well, Clint Bizzle will see the best and will see the worst. You know, he had that wrapped up, just a lapse of concentration. And having a look at the marks tally there, Kangaroos, as you'd probably expect, well up.
49-37, Wolsey. You had your fingers and toes out. I knew you were in trouble.
Reverse of the trend this quarter, 8-4 in favour of Geelong.
Shannon Grant just belting forward in typical Kangaroo style. McKernan clever there. Can he bring the left foot back? It's a great kick. Carey searching for it. Still with Carey in the pocket and runs it out. Good play by McKernan.
Carey made no real attempt to keep the ball in play, did he? Seemed like he was content for it to go out of bounds.
I think that was a very intelligent player, knowing his limitations at this period in his career, and thought, why hurt myself and twist and turn.
Rocker again, Spriggs, Carey in the pocket, still with Carey, and he's missed the lot. At least he's getting it, I guess, but Kangaroos have got to be happy with this. Spriggs probably, did Carey just collect him here on the way through? Oh, he's trod on his foot accidentally.
Bruce, there's just no energy about the Cats at the moment. They haven't come out snarling at all in this second half.
No, they've been very slow, haven't they, Andy? It's just prop and cop football. Even when they've got the footy, it is slow. They're not sure where to go to. They just need to play on with some real urgency, take some risks.
Oh, Simpson's big fly. It's a good call, Andrew. They are flat at the moment.
This is better, Bruce. They're going to split them open down the middle here.
Clark. Big kick forward by Hunt. Oh, good, almost Graham at the back, but McCartney in the right spot. And then bustles forward. He is a bustler. Sinclair to Motlop. Uses Harvey's pace here, but Spriggs will go with him. Harvey conceded this. He couldn't get away from Spriggs, so he used the body. Motlop clever, really clever. The kick, Riccardi will cut it off. Great mark, and then takes them on. Got away from Makepeace. Gets to a position to attack. The kick to White. Archer again. Oh, how good's Glenn tonight? It is vintage Archer.
Super football, super football. And again, just desperation and courage, and just got a fist on the ball. Mitchell White couldn't take the mark. He thought it was his. What about Ben Graham, Dermot? He's been virtually full forward for the first 9 or 10 minutes of this quarter. Hasn't had a touch. Do they need to get him out at centre-half forward or run in the ruck?
They've just got to get his hands on. The most marks in the league, as you called, Walsey. He's taken 1 tonight. They've got to get him involved.
Archer's getting better. The kick to centre wing. Stephen King almost. Pickett, brilliant. Rocket just couldn't find the touch to get it out to Rawlings, who's played pretty well, Rawlings. It'll be a ball up.
Robert, Dipper back here, mate, for a great little run out there. The Kangaroos still haven't made any changes off the bench. Very surprising. McLaren, Paul, Teague, and also Corcoran haven't had a run yet.
They'll certainly be fresh. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe come the last quarter, and they've had terrible last quarters this year, maybe we'll see those 4 young fellas on.
So Rocker, Burton around it. Burton and King just working hard, and then Grant working really hard. High tackle though. Sanderson.
Now this is where Benny Graham has to be the next target. He has to read it well enough here for the Sanderson kick.
Sometimes he doesn't present enough, Dermot. They can't kick at 80 metres to them.
Scarlett, Makepeace. That's a good result for the Kangaroos.
He's out of sorts, Scarlett, tonight.
And what I mean by that, when the ball was kicked there, Ben Graham was 80 metres away. Instead of running 20 metres towards the ball, he was content to amble back towards the goal, expecting someone else to win it.
Sitting 30, 40 metres from goal, he needed to run, lead 30 metres up the ground and demand a 50-metre pass into his direction.
Riccardi cleverly.
He's been having a go.
Springs couldn't quite. Maybe got a high one. Clark, well done. To Scholl. Scholl at 50. Funny old kick. Could be dangerous, though. Floating towards the goal. Kingsley, clever. Great stuff. Back to Graham. Can kick a goal. He just spent it a bit. Still hasn't quite got it. The captain's in trouble. Sinclair's little handball. They're still under the pump. Blakey, Kingsley off the ground. Point.
It's just not happening. It is just not happening. And Ken Kingsley did very, very well there to handball back into the corridor. And as you called it, he spent it a little bit. Unclean hands there. Cost.
Gee, a big miss, wasn't it?
Yep.
It was almost a gimme goal for a left footer in that position. Sinclair gets it from Shannon Grant and then runs hard. He knows Mitchell White's chasing and then bangs it to about 50. Can McKernan take one? Front spot was Sav. Well played, Harley. To Riccardi, he's been busy, goes back to Sanderson, back to Milburn, but they're stopping and propping a bit. Up and under, okay. McGrath, Scarlett, run down by Pickett, but he gets away.
He's hurt there, Pickett. He might have got a boot in the face there behind plate.
Harley to White, White up the ground. White measures the kick to Graham. Now here's Graham about 70 metres from home.
He's got Clint Bizzle ducking and weaving. Mickey Martin playing about 10 yards in front of him.
Brian Pickett in trouble in the background here in the forearm area.
Scholl's moved forward for the Cats, or he's just running in there frequently.
Graham short to Scholl. Doesn't. Yes, he does complete the mark.
Touched in between.
Okay, maybe a Geelong player. Was that deliberate? It is against the Kangaroos.
One thing about Brett Scholl, he can't mark overhead. He's a good player. There's Pickett on screen now. We'll have a look at this. Did he land awkwardly? Yeah, and stayed down from that.
Almost on his elbow, it looked like, didn't it? So, is it Hocking to take the kick from the pocket?
Well, if he gets space here, expect Buddha Hocking, who's a natural right footer, to run out onto his left and kick a swinging left foot goal. And if Simpson on the mark, is it? Yes, if Simpson commits to it, he'll try and balk inside. Look, he's actually tightening the angle so he can get a hook left foot into it.
Well, you caught it perfectly, Dermot. Has he kicked it perfectly? Nope. So no goals here. We've played 13 minutes in the second half.
It's a great result for the Roos.
Yep, just what Dennis Pagan would want.
There's their bench, untapped at the moment.
Harvey very short. OK to Simpson.
And it'd just top it off for the Roos if they could kick the next goal. In fact, the first goal of this third quarter.
Could be a breaking goal, couldn't it, in terms of the Cats' morale. White front spot now. He has to search hard for the footy. Archer will really bang into him. David King, who we haven't really seen in this quarter, but what a half. Archer playing very well. King towards the line. Little give was terrific. Sinclair run down.
That's better by the Cats. Run downs from behind. At least that shows emotion. At least that shows emotion there. He's given away the free kick.
It's against him for abusive language.
Back chat, yep.
So this could pay. Simpson to centre half forward. Kerry's in the box seat. Got him.
And Milburn made him earn it.
Probably can't go the distance here, Kerry, with all the aches and pains. Oh, he's given it a good roost. Can he go the distance? Yes! Or was it touch?
There was a hand
It's a goal. It's a goal.
Over the line.
So it just goes over the line. It is a goal to Carey. He's kicked two. Rocker's off.
Yeah,
So
there's the first change, boys. Rocker off the ground. Spall now goes straight to the forward line. Fresh legs on Scarlett's picking him up.
So White disappointed there. Gave away a free kick because of back chatting the umpire.
You've got to say, though, at least it showed some emotion, and they've been devoid of that seemingly in the second half already, the Cats.
Simpson, Grant, pushing it forward. Enright, Motlop. Enright's handball on the up, OK, to Murphy, to Spriggs. Uses Clark, probably didn't have to. Then Clark misses everything. Misses the lot. Hunt, first game he's played in Melbourne. His other two, that's a good kick. His other two have been in Perth, the full forward. Simpson was very important there, and then Mickey Raw. In the end, he got it over.
I think those hamstrings are a bit tight for Mickey. Can't bend down.
I'd like to see this kid, Joshua Hunt, get the ball a little bit more. Pretty thick through the thighs, but he kicks it pretty well. Pretty well indeed.
Byron Pickett, Mickey ain't. Down low and clean, but he did the job. Harvey wide. Motlop's been good. He's had a good match, Motlop. He's kicked three. Sort of floating, isn't he, in his position? Sprawl, can he get involved? At the back. Good hands by Scarlett. Now, he's got a couple on here. He's got Clark. Clark will run very hard. Pickett will try and chase. Clark decides to go to full forward. Getting in late was Archer. Ball comes to the back, still to one. Martin takes no chance at all and does it beautifully, Mickey.
They had a 5-on-1 there, the Kangaroos, so they're stacking their defence now.
McGrath a chance here and takes the mark over Sinclair.
They'll win it in the centre here now, the Cats, because Kangaroos are putting all their men deep in defence, and the Cats will have it in midfield.
Pickett brilliant. Kilpatrick will be disappointed. Pickett arches his back. Lovely looking kick to Rawlings, gives him a chance. Well, good mark. That's
Watch this kid kick it. He's got a good action, and he does give it a thump.
He's looking promising. Goes to Sanderson. Sanderson short. Danger for Spriggs. Simpson just picked him off, and then Pickett gives him another one just to go on with. Poor Spriggs. McKernan, Carey at the back. Hunt again getting plenty of it. Uses Harley's run. Harley just got it away from Sinclair. Kilpatrick to Clark. Clark just has to bang hard and hope that Blakey can be outmarked here by Buddha. Ball comes to the ground. Free kick against Buddha.
Buddha really didn't want to be in that contest. He wanted to be roving there, and I reckon he was disappointed that there was nobody coming in there to contest it. But that's death stuff when you put your smallest rover in that situation.
Bomber Thompson will be churning inside here, wouldn't he? When your whole season's going here. Carey, good tackle, he threw it up in the air, but it's a boundary throw in.
Bruce, we're 18 minutes into this third quarter. Geelong's had 53 possessions, the Kangaroos 43, and they haven't scored a goal, and that's why the coach, Mark Thompson, would be quite dispirited.
Watch for Riccardi here, he's been good at these.
Graham, Murphy, to go back.
That's play on.
Milburn has been called too, you're right, didn't cover the distance. Milburn away from Carey, up and under kick, and the Kangaroos should pick it off. McCartney really good.
Gee, they're brave at those long kicks, high marking contests. Players like McCartney, Archer, McKernan, Carey.
No, sorry, mate.
Just go for them all.
Thought it was danger for a moment, but Blakey was fine. Cochrane's come on the ground. You're right, Wolsey, they got a lot of heart, haven't they?
Fearless they are, Bruce.
Spore worked underneath it by Scarlett. Clark's handball. They're just not clean, the Cats, are they?
No, plenty of pressure put on them, but they've won this quarter as far as possessions go, Geelong, but they just cannot get a goal.
They're coming off there, Robert.
Taken it into their forward 50 10 times for 4 behinds.
Handball receives. The Kangaroos only 9 for this quarter, so they're opting for kicking on every available occasion, looking to clear the ball rather than try and teamwork it forward.
Clint Bizzle just needs to kick a goal here.
He's a massive kick when he actually gets onto it. Now, Scholl can lead from full forward. He will run around his quick lead, but once the ball goes above his hairline, he struggles to hold onto it on a lead.
So Budaroff
needs to kick this.
Kicked 1 goal in the first and 1 in the second, Bizzle, so a 3rd goal here. He struck it well. It's going to be hooked, though. It's not a goal.
2 on 1 again.
And Makepeace has got a choice here.
3 on 1.
Well, he's confident enough to use Blakey. Kingsley has no impact, chasing Blakey hard. Blakey, well, in the end, he had nowhere to go, and he's kicked it straight to Stephen King.
Well, 3 on 1 in the goal square. There's got to be their opponents sitting somewhere. They're all sitting back around the centre of the ground. They're going to keep winning it here and kicking it in.
That's that Hunt kick. It's not a bad one, is it?
He's got a lot of Stewie Dew about the way he kicks. He's not as good as him yet.
Spriggs' kick looks okay. Looks good. Just floating.
Ooh.
It's a behind.
Look, that's a big call. There's a lot of Stewie Dew about Joshua Hunt. Let's hope he can play as well as him, but smooth kicker of the ball to keep Joshua Hunt.
And Spider coming off Dermot for his first break, and Big Sav maybe going into the ruck.
It looks like Big Sav, he doesn't know where he's going, Sav. At the moment, he's going, might even get this
He'll get a
kick
kick here, I think.
He'll get it.
So Harvey, Stephen King coming in hard. Sav quickly away. Keeps it low.
Ooh.
Not bad. Spool did really well there to make the contest. Scarlett got a high tackle, free kick.
He's brave. He is a brave player, Matthew Scarlett.
Kick out in front of Bizzle. He's their go-to man at the moment. They're hoping Sinclair, great front-on tackle. Bizzle good enough, though, to give Bluey McGrath the run of it. McGrath held up. Spriggs running onto it. Goes for goal. Hooking it back. Hits the post.
They're starting to get on top of the Kangaroos now. You can see the Kangaroos have got no run to receives, and you're spotting players out there, Wolsey, that are just not running through the lines now.
Yeah, I think Mickey Martin's just about time for him to come off. He's really struggling.
McCartney gets it short. Well, they put so much effort into that first half, the Kangaroos, to set the lead up. Oh, good mark, McKernan. Lovely hands.
And this is what they're doing. It's mark kick forward now, and the game trend has reversed. It's whether the Cats can actually put it on the board.
Well, they haven't so far, and they trail by about 7 goals. At the back, Grant held on to, little handball. Sinclair's been okay. Wants Clayton in the pocket. Has he found him? He has.
So out in the full. And that should be 50 if he's gone on from that. The umpire was on the scene. Nope, he's going to give him the benefit of the doubt. David King's had no effect here, and that's why they've only put 1 on the board when they've had a little bit of the play. He just hasn't burst through the lines.
Just think that, again, oh, look out, look out.
Well, here's a goal. Shannon Grant. Was it touched? It's a goal. Well, with mistakes like that and being hurt so much on the board, you reckon the Cats are gone?
Well, they're, what are they now, 49 points behind. They're incapable of kicking 10 goals in 40 minutes of football.
Corey McKernan into the ruck, and Sav gone to the forward line.
So the Kangaroos doing the job here. King took it. McKernan missed the lot. Riccardi had it smothered. So David Clark's done a pretty good job on David King in this quarter.
Yep.
There he is, working hard. King just waiting off, trying to get a ball up.
He's only had 2 possessions, David King, in this 3rd term. So you've got to say David Clark's done a pretty good job. He's super quick, David Clark. And, of course, King is. Good matchup.
Kangas might need a lead at 3/4 time. Only Fremantle have worse figures than the Kangaroos in terms of goals for and against in the last quarter. So the Saints and West Coast have got better figures.
He'll fatigue after 3/4 time. First game back for 3 weeks.
McGrath short. Clark got it to Murphy. Out wide.
Now this has given the Roos a chance to zone back, and they have 15 men inside that half of the ground.
Motlop's back turn. Bizzle was on his own in the goal score there. Hunt might have gone all the way there. He was back about 20 metres behind Mickey. 21 minutes into the 2nd quarter, the Cats' last goal. We're 24 minutes into the 3rd now. Well, Ben Graham has just had one of those nights where nothing's been able to happen. He got a lucky free kick to kick a goal in the opening term. Archer, in contrast, has been brilliant. White's worked pretty hard. Bizzle, probably the most industrious forward. Handball back in. Motlop got a finger on it. Enright, good tackle, Motlop. Martin will just see it over the line. It was over, but Mickey's big frame actually didn't give the boundary umpire a chance. And then going for goal, and might have kicked it here, Enright. He has.
David Clark, number 14. He's had 7 possessions in the third term. King's only had 2, so that young fella's done a great job.
So back to 43 points. It's still a big margin. Simpson belting forward. Murphy to Harley. Can the Cats put some doubt in the minds of the Kangaroos? That's what they've got to try and do now. Kick around the body came from Wojcinski. Really brave there was McCartney. That was fantastic footy to Harvey. Gee, Dennis Pagan would have loved that, wouldn't he? Pickett. Still Pickett. Still Pickett.
Carey's dropped his man off.
King's got it. He'd love to run on there, King, wouldn't he?
Yeah, well, he's held him up. He might be able to kick it from that distance.
Just say one thing about this. If we get the replay, Kingy, because he knows his opponent's got eyes for him and not the ball running with the flight, when we watch the replay, he feints as if he's going to go first. See there? He's trying to make out to his opponent, jump now, so you mistime your jump. Probably needed to sell it a little bit better, but he marked it in the end anyway.
7 scoring shots to 2 in this quarter. The Cats have had 7 scoring shots to 2. It's 1-6 to 2 goals.
17 scoring shots to 20. They're still down by 43.
There's a chance to run around him, isn't he, Kingy? Like he's setting this up for running around, I reckon.
He'd be wanting John Blakey to take his man away on the left-hand side of the screen. He calls Blakey away now. Big hook foot coming up.
It's coming back. It's a good kick. He might have got it. He has.
And the coach has got a few worries, Mark Thompson.
Boy,
His teams, well, they've gone inside forward 15 times to 6 in the third term, and they've been outscored.
It says it all when you look at Bomber there. So 8-9 to 17-4. This from a team that kicked 3 goals 18 last week, 17-4.
Yep, unfortunately for Bomber, they lose this one, and he might be looking down at a rough copy of the early draft, planning for next year already, because it's basically their season on the line here.
Well, they've got to go to Adelaide to play Port Adelaide, and then they've got Brisbane admittedly at Shell Stadium,
and they're the best team in the comp.
Then they've got Carlton at Optus.
Yep.
Good luck. Grant, and they're losing percentage here tonight too at the moment. The Kangas are sort of getting theirs back up a bit. Murphy.
That's better. Milburn backed out of it and wouldn't give it up like they did in the first, second quarter.
So Milburn to Harley. Harley wide and finds Wojcinski.
This is where White and Graham have to present.
What they really need to do now, Wolsey, obviously, is if they can get a backline runner to come down through the middle, change direction, and get somebody running down the edge of the square. That'll split the defence open. Because at the moment, when it comes in from this wide, the forwards can only lead to one spot.
Ben Graham's not a natural forward, is he?
No.
So what a terrible quarter for the Cats. Absolutely disastrous.
They won the ball, but it was terrible the way they played with the winning of the ball.
They needed the best quarter of their season in that, and they kicked 1 goal, 6 to 3 goals.
Yeah.
And at 3/4 time, surely the game is gone. It's 17-4 to 8-9, 106 to 57, 49-point margin. And for the Kangaroos, boy, haven't they had some great moments over the years with Dennis Pagan.
45 years of footy on 7. Proudly brought to you by Tui's New. Andrew Buse's persistence paid off at Cardinia Park in 1985. The inspirational Cat was awarded Goal of the Year by Channel 7's popular World of Sport footy panel.
Oh, boy! He hooks it back. Don't tell me he's going to score a goal! He's the goal of the year!
Tui's New. Give that man a new.
Well, remember at the start of the match, Sally, will you marry me, Andrew? Well, it did happen, and I reckon Sally said, yeah. Wow, well, the Cats haven't had much romance tonight, but they've got some here. So, Sally and Andrew, let's go down. Dipper, you're with them, I think.
I certainly am. I found Andrew and Sally. Firstly, you asked Sally to marry you, Andrew. What was the answer?
It was bloody yes.
Congratulations. Have you been coming to footy for a while?
A very long time, yes. Love the Cats, they're awesome.
Did you have to think about it?
No, not at all.
Thanks very much. Congratulations on all behalf of everyone in Australia. Well done. Over to you, Brucey.
Good on you, Tipper. Gee, you've had a night, Tipper. What a night. King and Motlop 3 each. Bizzle a couple. 17-4-8. Let's go down to Andrew Marr's got Alan McConnell with
Thanks very much, Bruce. Well, disappointing. Where does a performance like this come from?
Andrew, it's very disappointing. We felt we probably didn't work hard enough, and our use of the footy has been deplorable. It's symptomatic of that is the fact that we probably nearly doubled entries on them into the inside 50 that last quarter and got outscored. So,
well, what can you get out of this final term, Al?
Well, we've got to take risks. We've got to try and play on and use the ball as much as possible so we can take some reasonable form and a bit of risk taking into next week.
Good luck, mate. Back to you, Bruce.
Thank you, Andrew. So Dennis Pagan was animated. There's David King, who was held up a bit by David Clark, but in the end delivered a telling blow, didn't he, with that long goal.
What did you think about that interview there, the coach talking about next week's game, thinking, well, we've got to show something to go into next week's game with something positive? It sort of makes you think that they realise this one's gone beyond them.
Yeah, it sounds that way, doesn't it?
49 points, a massive margin. I mean, that's even more difficult than 69 points in the second quarter, isn't it?
You really want your captain to stand up in the last quarter, Bruce. You really want Benny Graham to get hands on and just bomb 2 or 3. You've got Wayne Carey playing it in the goal square now, left-hand side of screen. And Milburn, Darren Milburn.
There's Buddha and Scholl on the bench. And Mooney, I don't think he's been on since he was reported.
No, he hasn't.
So disappointing night for Mooney against his old teammates who he played in a premiership with in 1999.
Big Kingy's not jumping very much at the centre bounce. And in fact, he liked it when Corey McKernan came in. Corey jumps early as a rule, and he's totally stayed on the ground and let himself through the air. Let's have a look at him here.
Well, this is just before they bounce the ball. And
whisper.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Well, King missed 6 matches after being terrific in the first 11 games.
Yeah.
Only his second match back. Grant, 150th. Makepeace good. Motlop just had to release it. Well played, Hunt. He's shown a bit to Murphy. Good kick. Graham's got it.
He's got to go back and kick a goal. Don't worry about anything else. Just go back and kick a goal. Settle yourself down and put it through.
Well, David King and Wayne Carey kicked them from nearly this distance, and not this angle, admittedly, but this bloke's one of the most talented kicks we've seen for years, and he hasn't kicked it. It's come up short. Bizzle looks for a free kick. Cochran did well.
That's easy.
To Simpson. To McCartney.
Well, that's too easy. If one of their former champs showed a little bit too much last night, the Kangaroos have taken their pants down and spanked their behinds tonight.
So McCartney's kick out wide. Just why can't Ben Graham make the distance from there? I mean,
total miscue that one.
He didn't strike it well. Put it on the outside of the boot.
So there's the incident for you. You'll have all the details of tonight's match, goal kickers and
the Oz kick game.
Yeah, and the Oz kick, no doubt, difference of photos. Hopefully, if you i7sport.com.au.
Might use those photos later on.
Well, Cat fans will be looking for something to cheer them up, won't they? Here's Graham.
Well done.
Tackled by McCartney. Back to Sanderson. Motlop fishing for it. Kangaroos are hungrier, aren't they?
Well, Brenton Sanderson's never going to do anything but put his body on the line, and if he actually coughs one up like that, it's just not your night.
And when you think the Kangaroos haven't got a lot out of McKernan and Rocker, Carey's been pretty good, but they haven't had huge returns from their big 3 blokes, have they?
Rocker 7 possessions, McKernan 6 possessions, and Carey, even as good as he's been tonight, only 9 possessions. His direction now.
Kick to half forward. Carey couldn't quite hold it. McLaren's little toe poke. Harvey, Pickett will get it. The ball game's gone, isn't it?
That's the end of the show.
Yes, and Harvey had a 9-possession third quarter. Spriggs, his opponent, played him fairly tightly, but Harvey just backs himself, runs forward of the play, and that's what Byron Pickett did there. And you'll see little Harvey comes around. He's able to get it quickly onto his boot, only gains about 20 metres, and Byron Pickett anticipated that, ran forward of the play.
Feel a bit sorry for Brenton Sanderson, because when he saw it was a 2-on-4, he peeled off, and he's Pickett's opponent.
He's got his second. So Pickett's second goal. He's kicked 32 goals in his last 13 matches, Pickett. It's a good return.
Been accurate, Bruce, 32-8.
So the Kangaroos, 18-4 to 8-9 here. Getting close to a 10-goal game. Now Harvey, we know what he did in the second quarter. Gets to 50, centering kick for Carey. Got a good bounce. Good tackle up the front by Stephen King. One King on another, and then goes in hard again for a ball up.
It's a good kick by Harvey. He centred the ball. He saw Wayne Carey leading from the goal square up the middle. And a good tackle in the end by Stephen King. Really wrapped him up and brought Wayne Carey to ground. Just a terrific tackle by the big ruckman.
So the Kangas at centre-half forward. Just looking at their draw, the Kangaroos, they've got a real window of opportunity if they can go on with it tonight, with the Crows, Richmond and Collingwood in their last 3 games. All winnable. Spriggs gone.
You can appreciate what he was trying to do. He was trying to keep the ball inboard and try and split them open with a bit of pace.
Spriggs and Harvey had a terrific contest in this second half. Corey McKernan back on the goal line. This will test Harvey's distance. He's a wonderful little footballer, but this will test him. He's capable of kicking it, but big Corey back there with the goal umpire just in case it drops short.
He'll get another lead out of the goal square here because he's not going to get this distance all the night long.
Yep, he's run around. He'll get this distance, Dermot. He's cheeky too. He let Sanderson know how good it was, didn't he?
I think he's saying, what did you think of that? Pretty smart, aren't I?
But how would you feel if you're a Cat supporter at home watching this or here at the ground?
Well, they've only kicked 1 goal in the second half thus far, so he'd be terribly disappointed. This big fella's done well, Spider.
It's been super.
McKernan runs hard, got underneath it a bit, Rock at the back, McKernan inboard okay. Simpson needs a quick kick, gets it to Shannon Grant's had a terrific match in his 150th.
24th possession coming up.
Just haven't played smart footy, the Cats, have they, tonight? No. They've been outsmarted. Outgunned, out-hassled, good kick.
He is quick, Joey McLaren, and he can play from full forward. One thing Timmy Watson did for Joey McLaren last year on a few occasions when he was at St Kilda, he played Joey McLaren out of the goal square, and he does have definite pace and just that step off the mark.
Shannon Grant too. Shannon Grant, again, he knew he couldn't make the distance and just waited for McLaren's speedy lead.
Well, they haven't kicked a point in the second half. That's putting pressure on, isn't it?
He might kick 2 or 3 goals here, Joe McLaren.
Well, he's missed a chance.
Not with that one.
Hit the post. There's Buddha now. So much talked about his retirement and the way the Cats have handled him very well in terms of playing him, but where's the emotion attached to that in this team tonight?
Yeah, they've been flat, haven't they? Melbourne beat them last week and they really haven't got over it.
No Ronnie Burns. I mean, huge blow.
Well, Ronnie Burns is the excitement machine in that side, and take him out of their forward line, it's left to Ben Graham.
Well, with their entries inside 50 being comparable to the Kangaroos for the whole game overall, if with the supply, he would have given them a bit of a show.
He's the man with the real tricks, isn't he, Burns?
Yep.
Blakey held up by Riccardi. McGrath's back turn. He ran into Kingsley at the moment, then sweeps one to Murphy. It's been good offensively, Murphy, but not so good at the other end. Good kick into Graham.
Bizzle's one out with Mickey Martin.
Short to wide.
Clever kick. He's not very happy, Glenn Archer, because he's had a terrific game, Archer, and he'd be pretty hostile to think that his opponent will go back and have a shot at goal.
Now, I reckon Mitchell is a fantastic player, and I reckon he has one trouble spot kicking at goals from, and it happens to be on about 45 degrees out, and a kick which you only have to poke at it to get the distance, and that's what he's got now. So this will be a big plus for him if he kicks this.
He has. It's a goal.
Well done.
The coach still contemplating, full of disappointment here. Cats getting a 9th goal, but they've been too few and too far between since a little burst early in the second quarter. Mark taken by Harley.
Kingy's run forward if they can spot him up here.
Sanderson back to Murphy. Good kick. He certainly can deliver. Interesting to see here whether the Kangaroos can... I mean, they've buried them on the scoreboard. Can they keep the pressure on here long enough to have a big win? Free kick not paid to Martin.
Well done by Mick, though. Backed into Clint Bizzle, took his jump away.
Simpson to McLaren. He had some options, McLaren. Didn't do well because he gave Hunt the chance. The Cats with another one. Bizzle out wide. Hunt's handball cut off. Simpson's had a night. He has had a night. And then he's held on to. McGrath's in there with McLaren. Ball up.
Well, he doesn't handball it as well as he kicks at young Hunt.
And Gary Hocking back on the field, Dipper.
He certainly is, and when he come on, he just sort of cheered to his bench and said, come on, guys, we can still do this, but I don't know why he said that. I think we're out of the game now.
Well, it's just been a flat performance. It's been like a damp squid, hasn't it, from the Cats tonight? Handball by Grant to Archer. Mark taken by Makepeace. I thought he was important early, Makepeace.
He's an improving player.
Centering ball, neat kick. Good mark, though, in the front. Not paid. Kerry spoil okay in the end. And then Kerry in very hard, and they jump all over the top of them.
Dipper, the Geelong bench, Cameron Mooney, he came off early in that second quarter when he was reported. He hasn't been brought back on at all.
No, he's still got the tracksuit top on and really looked dejected down there. And obviously, Bomber Thompson just saying, listen, we don't need that sort of performance on the ground.
Haven't won a game, the Cats, since Cameron Mooney's moved out of the ruck.
Yeah, it's pretty strong coaching, though, isn't it? And I think it's good coaching, but he's saying to that young fella, that sort of football's not tolerated.
Harvey, just a little kick, Makepeace back to Simpson. See, the Kangaroos have had some outstanding players tonight. McLaren running hard, so he's getting involved a bit. The kick over the top's a good one to Rocker. Gee, timed it well, and Rocker's mark was terrific. You'd love Sav to kick this. He's worked hard this year. He's got his skin folds down. He's kicked 42 goals. He hasn't kicked 50 goals since 1998 in a season, and he's on target for it this year.
I think it's a credit to Sav Rocker. He left Collingwood. I think most people thought that his career was over, his AFL career was over. Fourth highest goal kicker in the AFL currently. Wayne Carey, #1.
Kicks from the pocket.
Good kick. Good
He
action.
struck it beautifully. Oh, he's got to be happy, Dennis. 25 to 9-9. The dream is still alive. They could still do it again. They could come from nowhere and make the finals.
Well, they only kicked the 3 goals against Sydney last week, and I just always felt that whoever came up against the Kangaroos this week would be in for a real game.
Riccardi, 16 possessions, coming up for his 17th. He's been pretty good, Peter Riccardi.
Always gets the ball out wide, Justin Murphy.
It's a lot of possessions, and he's found a lot of targets.
Oh, look, his disposal by foot is very good, and by hand. Like, he's a 25 possession player week in, week out. Just got to work on his 1%ers, his tackles, his smothers, his blocks, his accountability for an opponent. Then he becomes a complete footballer.
Well, it'd be one of the most disappointing nights for Ben Graham, this year at least, as captain. He would have come here with high hopes, had a great match individually last week. That's a good kick. He's kicked a second goal, and they crawl up to 10.
Cam Mooney on the bench there, hasn't come back onto the ground since he was taken from the field by the coach in the second quarter for a misdemeanor and report.
Grant building it forward. Rocker getting set. Spalls fly. I think it might be a free kick here against Carey for hanging on.
Now, everybody's within 30 metres of the kicker here, so it'll be short. They need the half forward to demand the ball here on a lead.
Sanderson's kick looks good. Archer, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant again. And then Clayton on the rebound. Motlop's outnumbered. Good mark from the front. Taken by Milburn. He's done pretty well down back. Sanderson to Hunt. Hunt made Harley stretch, but he found him and he took the mark. Harley out wide to Scarlett. Scarlett at half back. Down the line he goes. White working, or rather McGrath working up the ground, takes the mark. So Bluey, who played a little bit of footy at the Kangaroos many moons ago. Short to Scarlett.
Hasn't he had some great contests with Wayne Carey over the years?
Well, he was the one before Jakovic that had a bit of success on him, wasn't he?
He was.
Clark's kicked the centre half forward. Graham looking for a free kick. May got a poke in the eye. McCartney's had a good night. Goes for the line and finds it. But when you look at the Kangaroos, Archer, McCartney down back. Grant's had 25 possessions, 36 to Simpson, 29 to Harvey, 20 to King, quality possessions. Their good players have been outstanding.
Yes, their midfield's been strong, and a couple of key defenders in Archer and McCartney. And Spider Burton, we shouldn't underestimate Spider Burton. As far as ruck work goes, he averages around 22 hit-outs a game, and that's the 3rd best in the AFL. Now, you look at him, and we saw him do a few party tricks earlier in the first half, but he's a pretty good player, and that's why Dennis Pagan lets him do most of the ruck work.
Just look behind play there at Mick Martin, and he's doing a lot of stretching this late in the game. He's had suspect hamstrings earlier this year. He'd probably be thinking, get me on the bench now. I don't want him to do another soft tissue this late in the game.
Well done, Harley. Little kick from Harvey not making a smart. Motlop, clever, in trouble, gone, holding the ball. Surrounded by cats in the end. Spriggs gets it, the advantage paid, or it'll come back to Stephen King.
Adam Simpson's had 38 possessions.
He's taken the ball out of the centre square on 5 occasions, Simpson, from the ruck. Harley's kicked McCartney, Graham, Simpson there. Graham working hard, boundary throw in. So 10-9 to 25 here, and the margin at 56 points. There's Mickey.
Yep, Mickey be thinking, let's just get through this. He did a lot of stretching about a minute ago. There's the attendance for the evening. 30,918 came through the gates.
So not a bad roll-up. Kangaroos home game here. Enright just tried to give it to White. Burton doing well. Gets it back. Kingsley's had no impact. Murphy again. 28 possessions. Loads it up. Good-looking kick to the goals. Carey getting back. Couldn't affect the mark. Here's David King. Across the face of the goal. Taking them on. Running hard. He's got no one to kick it to. He's going to have to wait. Over the top. Harvey. Little give was terrific. McLaren gets it. Well played, Joey. He just held up some space and a good spot up for Clayton. Clayton sits and waits, but Riccardi good enough. It was a slow kick, I guess, in the end. Murphy tucks it under the arm and then goes down the line and finds Buddha.
Well, you give up the ball, and on the rebound, it'll hurt you. And good disposal again by Murphy. Buddha should go back and kick a goal.
Will he kick a left or right foot, Walsing, or Dylan?
I reckon he'll go on the left here.
Well, he went short, so it didn't matter, and he's found Corey Enright.
He's got good skills, Corey Enright. A show from here.
He's got a young face, Enright, hasn't he? He looks a baby. Looks like a kid who could have been in Leave It to Beaver many years ago. Now, that's aging me, isn't it?
What show was that? Leave It to Beaver. I'm proud to admit I was too young to see that one.
Kick from about 45. He kicked a goal in the third quarter, kicks it low, kicks it dreadfully.
Yeah, he's got bad skills, Corey Enright. No, he actually has a rule that isn't a bad kick. He just shanked that one.
The bomber just looks across at Alan McConnell and...
Well, you include that, that's 20 shots on goal compared to 25.
Blakey did well. Back to Blakey from Carey. They're in a bit of trouble here. Ball bouncing. Scholl, he's just inside 50. Gets to the pocket. Sees hard-running Bizzle. Couldn't quite. And Harvey runs it over the line, trying to keep it in. It's been one of those nights for the Cats.
Wayne Carey spending time in the defensive 50 at this stage of the game.
Teague gets a run. Cochrane off. Ball comes down. Harvey across the face. So Carey getting plenty of work here. Bouncing ball. Did well, Carey. Gee, they're going to be pleased with this. He wants the boundary line. Sav gets through them all. Scarlett. Motlop's there to put some pressure on. Scarlett gets away. Found some space. A bounce.
Got to go short. There's Kangaroos all down the line here.
McCartney versus Graham. Graham did really well. And then turns onto the left. Goes to full forward. Bizzle! Couldn't quite. Good job, King in the front. It's a mark.
Made it. Just felt that Clint Bizzle just got flat-footed there. Running to the pack, he had to make up too much ground. If he had a little bit of space up his sleeve, he would have got elevation, but he jumped flat into it.
Well, arguably two of the best men on the ground combining there. Simpson getting it from David King. Pickett out wide. McKernan or Milburn. Good. He certainly stretched for it, but he did take it. He kept his eyes there. Harley centering kick. Hocking the target here. Front spot was White. Well read. Gee, Simpson.
39, Bruce. 39 possessions, Simpson.
He's got to get to 40.
Carey, funny old kick. Mark taken by Riccardi. Runs off hard. Little one to White.
Numbers for the Cats.
Game's degenerated here, hasn't it?
It's just become a game of end-to-end, hasn't it? Umpire, don't take it off him.
Now, he's going to leave it with him, but he's warning him. Byron made sure the sideshow was on and went to ground real easy. Watch, wait for it. Oh!
Not much in it.
No.
Good umpiring.
Good umpiring. Ben Graham on the lead, within goal-kicking distance, and that's what he should do, and I'm sure he will. Just go back and put it through.
Mark 7, he's pumped that up in the last 20 minutes of the game or so.
4 or 5, I think 5 marks in the last quarter.
Right.
Could end up with 3 goals. Good kick.
It's a stab kick. Well, the Kangaroos are still on their merry way, but if you go to page 29 of your AFL record, you'll find Dipper's Dare, and it is, if the Kangaroos beat Geelong, Old Busk play the drums outside the Victoria Market during its busiest day for a charity, a good cause. The Big Dipper's going to be busking this week.
Well, he's done everything tonight, Dipper.
Thanks, Dan.
Hunt comes through, kicks forward. Blakey might have kicked that out on the full. No.
Good touch.
Don't forget the old joke book out.
Johnny Blakey, he's played on Kent Kingsley all night, and the veteran, he's had his 16th possession there, and Kent Kingsley's only had 7, so again, he's done his job.
He's going to get tantalisingly close to 350 games, Blakey, at the end of this season. Reckon he'll go again. Tackle Pickett, terrific tackle. And the Kangaroo Teague Crutch must get a free kick. It's courageous, Teague. He's only just come on the ground.
Byron Pickett, #1 tackler in the AFL. Going
Mickey
into
by himself
tonight's
out here.
game, he'd had 89 tackles. Gary Hocking, 48. Most number of tackles for the Cats.
Well, Wayne Carey saw Big Mick Martin out there, Wolsey, as well, and he wasn't going to kick it to him.
Well, he
doesn't test him. He'd have got this 3-4 years ago.
He's decided to go out to Makepeace. It's a pretty ambitious kick. And Buddha belts it away. Blakey running hard. Kingsley with him, and Blakey finds the line.
Well, he just does the percentage thing again, John Blakey. And it puts Big Spider in another ruck contest. Spider Burton and Stephen King. They've had a pretty even duel. Big Spider's had 24 hit-outs tonight. Stephen King's had 18, so not much between them. Just works for the short tap Spider. Doesn't try to hit it far, just let it roll down the hand.
King lays it down. McLaren, solid tackle. Little handball by Enright was good to Hocking. So Buddha streaming through the wing back to Clark. David Clark, who did a good job in the third quarter on David King. Sets it up. Carey getting back. Bizzle running hard. Oh, courage, Carey.
Well, there are a lot of doubts about his fitness going into tonight's game. They said he had the flu. They said he had a suspect hamstring. Well, he stood up to the lot. Looks like he wants as much football as he can get. He could be sitting back in the goal square taking it easy, but no, he's working as hard as anybody out on the ground, pushing back into the defensive 50 to help his teammates. What a great captain.
Well, he probably reckons I've got 3 more weeks after this, and then we've got some finals to come. I want to be in good nick when I get there.
The runner just went out to him.
Yeah, I reckon the runner might say, how about coming off? You've done enough. I think he might have said, no, I'm all right. I'm enjoying it.
Conversation continues with Carey and the runner. The runner's gone back to him again.
One thing's for sure, it won't be a nasty message coming from the bench.
Burton, David King. Good hands by Harvey to make peace to King. Combining very well. McKernan used his body beautifully on Harley. Runs onto it in the pocket. Gee, he's unlucky. It was a good effort, yeah. Just needed a lucky bounce. It would have been a great goal.
What about that, Wolsey? When you were playing, did you get many messages from the runner in a complimentary sense in those days?
No, my coach was Ron Barassi, and he used to say you're expected to play well, so don't be told that you've done well, but I'll tell you when you're not going so well.
It's not a good arrangement, that one, is it?
No.
King, it's a bit one-sided.
Fairly one-way traffic.
Shoal out wide on a disappointing night for the Cats. Murphy's kick around the body to a bit of space. Clark's taken the mark. Now he's got McGrath inside. Burton to chase hard.
Just run away from it.
Clark away, and then pops it up high. Bizzle, Mickey, Teague, well done in the front spot. At the back, Milburn, clever. Running onto it is Enright, and he wobbles through another one. Well, too little, too late. The Cats fans, not much to cheer about. Wonder how Sally and Andrew will go tonight. They got married tonight, both Cats supporters.
They'll be divorced.
They actually didn't get married, did they?
No, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't moz them like that. No, I'll take that back completely.
He's done all right in right. He's played the last 9 weeks now, 19 years of age. He's starting to find his spot on the team. Rookie.
There's the Kangaroos runner, Mark Roberts, former premiership player for the Kangaroos. Looks like he's still in pretty fair nick. Should be, because he's delivered about 1,000 messages tonight.
So the Cats whittle it back to 44 points here. Enright, Makepeace squeezes it out of the centre. Rawlings and Hunt together. McKernan was terrific to pick it on the burst. Needs the bounce, gets it, makes it work for himself. Talked it into it, I reckon. Just told the ball what to do.
Pretty sharp hands by Corey McKernan to give that one out too. Hasn't had a great night, Byron Pickett, but he'd be happy with that. Finished up with 3 goals.
Well done by Corey McKernan. Actually crumbed this one.
Yeah, well done, wasn't it? Good hands.
Supporting play. I tell you what's an unusual situation. Wayne Carey, who did drift down into the back line, he's come along the centre square now, was picking up so many possessions and controlling the flow of play outward going for the Kangaroos defence that Milburn has chased him down into his own forward line. There he is, just walking out of screen now, and tagged him as a forward. He's tagged Carey, who was playing as a backman, so that's forced Carey to come to the other end of the ground now.
Did Yabby Jeans give you tough messages?
Not many at all.
Kick to centre half forward, Scarlett.
Oh, tough messages, not many good messages.
Sanderson, sorry guys.
That's all right.
Sanderson to Clark, to McGrath. Getting down the line again, Graham. Goes short. Spriggs left it for Scarlett.
Hocking in the square.
Scarlett just chips, and good work by White to stop Archer. And Enright gets the mark.
11 possessions for him, 2 goals. Missed a put a little bit earlier this quarter.
Dermot, how did you rate this Geelong team at the start of the season? Did you think they'd make finals?
I actually had them out, but I had them out. If there were 2 teams that I thought were going to be out, these were one of them. Geelong was one of them, and I thought they were going to be the 2 unlucky teams that I selected to be outside finals.
So could Enright kick a 3rd goal? No, he's hooked, and it's through for a behind.
Where'd you have them?
I had them out of the 8. I just had a quick look. I think I picked them at number 11. I think they're a developing team. They just haven't got any star players. And that's not a problem. I think the coach is doing a really good job with them, but he just needs to get a contribution from every player. If he doesn't get that, well, they struggle, and that's what's happened tonight.
I think Bizzle has the star qualities. He needs consistency before he is a star player.
Probably their biggest star in terms of being able to make it work has got a hamstring at the moment, haven't you, Ronnie Burns?
Yep.
That's it. That's equal to that's the 2nd biggest win of the year for the Kangaroos. Only against Fremantle in round number 11 have they had a bigger win. So that's a great result. For the Cats, it's a disaster.
Well, isn't it a funny game? They've kicked 21 goals 5. Last weekend up there in Sydney, they kicked 318.
Yep. What a week, a difference. Shannon Grant's 150th was a beauty, dipper.
Absolutely was, Bruce. Firstly, Shannon, congratulations on 150, mate. You've done it in quick time, but more importantly, it's a great win after, well, a miserable last week.
Yeah, we're absolutely terrible last week, and you know, we're still in the running for the finals, and even though it's a slim chance, but all the guys really dug deep tonight, and we had a big match.
They certainly did. I mean, everyone really put in just the way you attacked the ball tonight. I mean, Archer's was back to his best, and of course Wayne's had a few injuries, but Makepeace and these sort of players are coming through as well.
Yeah, it's good to see a few of the young guys stepping up. I think Makepeace was very good tonight. Shane Clayton did his job as well, and you know, if you can get Jesse Sinclair and guys like that stepping up, it makes it a little bit easier for us.
It's been a strange ride for you guys the last month, hasn't it?
It has been pretty weird. I mean, we've been in pretty good form, but we just haven't been able to get on the line bar last week, so it was definitely good to have a win tonight.
Well, once again, well done, 150, and maybe come up to 200 in a couple of weeks' time.
Let's hope so.
Thanks,
Tipper, you've never been good at adding up, but 150 is at 24 years of age. So in the second half, they won it by 6 points, the Kangaroos, 7-1 to 5-7, and the last quarter all square at 4-1 apiece.
Well, they'll count that as a plus, a big plus. Besides the win, they'll actually say at least we've arrested that slide in the second half.
I tell you what, I like their draw too. They've got the Crows, they've got Richmond, and they've got Collingwood.
Needed a bit of percentage too, Bruce. Only 92% going into tonight's game.
Got a bit. We'll be back with more right after this. 21-5 to 12-10.
Yep.
Out we come!
Plenty of fight in the old dog yet, isn't it, with the Kangaroos? And, gee, they did a good job. And they know that the job's still at hand because they've got 3 more weeks to go. Probably have to win them all to make it. But they did it tonight, 21-5. They were great over Geelong 12-10. Dennis Pagan, the coach, is down with Andrew Marr. Let's join Andrew.
Thanks very much, Bruce. Well, super performance, really complete. Seemed like everybody did their bit tonight.
Yeah, look, it was terrific, especially after last week, and we knew the carrot had come through, and they really played as a team tonight.
Last week was a blip after the Essendon and Brisbane performances, which were admirable in defeat. Did you feel like you deserved this at the very least?
No, it was a funny thing. I thought we played really well against Essendon, didn't win. We played well against Brisbane, didn't win. And maybe our blokes went to Sydney thinking they deserved to win without actually doing the work. I've heard a lot of theories, a lot of perception being thrown at us, and that's the best one I can come up with, but it probably doesn't hold too much water, but I'm glad we won tonight.
Bruce McElhinney, congratulations. It was a great win. Dennis, Adam Simpson, you had so many good players tonight, and Simpson was one of them, wasn't he?
Oh, he was terrific. The way he got back, and you know, he's played pretty good football after probably a substandard 6-week period at the start, and he's been very good for us, Bruce.
Was that his best game you've seen him play for 12 months?
No, I wouldn't say it was his best game for 12 months. He even played pretty well last week. He was probably our best player last week. He had some 30-odd possessions and probably got washed up in or washed away with the Swans. But he's been terrific over a long period of time now, Dermot.
David King, although he wins the ball and bounces and runs down the ground, I thought the fact that most of the time tonight he got it like that and he ran through the corridor, through the back of the square, which just opened out the Geelong defence.
Well, he's a very important player for us, and you know, just illustrates tonight how much we need him in the team, Dermot.
Dennis, Shannon Grant, 150 games and one of his better ones tonight. You must be very proud of the way that he's played since he came from Sydney to your club.
Yeah, Robert, he's been terrific. He's been very good for a long while now. I think he's probably had one substandard performance in probably 3 months of football, and he was pretty good again tonight.
Yeah, we were just looking at Shannon on screen again. Got plenty of the ball and used those kicking skills to advantage. Little Boomer Harvey. He did a couple of things. He ran around the man on the mark, and a few times he took on the length of the field. Did you give guys like him at this stage of the year license to be really creative? I mean, super creative, like we're seeing on screen now?
We said exactly that last week too, and we weren't creative at all. It's a funny thing, your mind and how it works, and you know, but they certainly played the part tonight that took him on, and that's what we wanted him to do.
Dennis, a different sort of game from Harvey and the rest, but what about Glenn Archer? How good was he? Those marks in the second quarter.
Well, he's sensational. His probably stats don't stack up well, but gee, his attack on the ball and those marks that he took, there's not many people who do that, and gee, we're just so glad that Glenn plays for us and not against us.
Yeah, he was just superb. I mean, it was vintage stuff, Dennis, and he really got a taste for it. And if any chance you reckon Geelong had at that stage, well, Glenn almost single-handedly closed them out. And one mark in particular, when you turned it round and took it down the length of the field and kicked the goal, was just terrific.
No, it was, Bruce. He was sensational, and you can't rate his performance too highly.
And Dennis, what about your skipper, Wayne Carey? You started him in at the centre bounces for the first 10 or 15 minutes of the game. Then he went forward, and in the last quarter, he spent time in the back 50. We saw the runner going out. What was the message there?
Just to stay back. He was a little bit concerned whether we wanted him to stay back or go forward at that stage, and you know, it was important that they didn't kick a lot of goals, and just wanted someone who could steady down there without going sort of kamikaze and playing on in every opportunity.
We saw in the second quarter, Dennis, it's almost like the 15 minutes of appreciation of every play you had tonight, but in the second quarter, Byron Pickett really held the ball in, put a lot of pressure on the Geelong backmen, and they just ended up, he made sure that they just kicked it to your midfielders waiting and kick behind players. Very important in that aspect.
Yeah, look, he is. He's very good. He's had a wonderful year, Byron. We hope he can keep going.
Bruce, we've got to wind it up there. Dennis, the players are getting into the team meeting. Great win. Thanks for your time. Back to you, fellas.
Thanks very much, Dennis. That's good stuff. And look, he's got so much to be proud about tonight and happy. And it's a terrific performance. You never count them out, do you?
No. I was wrapped with the move of Archer away from Bizzle, and he moved him over to Mitchell White because he had too much foot pace for Mick Martin. I thought it was a great coaching move.
They scrambled well, the Kangaroos, tonight, didn't they? I reckon, Wolves, if you had one more question, you were going to ask Dennis, what did you say at half-time about the start of the third quarter?
I would have loved to have known what the tactics were to be, because at the start of the third quarter, we knew that Geelong had to come out and kick 3 or 4 goals in the first 12 minutes to have a chance. And we saw the Kangaroos deny them that. They tackled ferociously. They didn't give them the footy. They actually played some possession football. It seems as if the Kangaroos were content not to score themselves as long as Geelong didn't. And then, of course, they broke through and got, I think, the first 2 goals of that third term, and the game was over.
So do you reckon they can go on with it from here? They've got Adelaide, they've got Richmond, and they've got Collingwood at Manuka Oval in Canberra.
They're definitely now, I mean, they always were, but now they are the signature, they're the definite best team outside the 8.
OK, the Cats, seemingly dead because of their form and their draw. Their disposal tonight was woeful at times.
They really did struggle, and we see Kilpatrick running into an open goal, hitting the post, and young David Clark, he misses the target too often. Look, he's going to be a good player, and, well, we see Bizzle drop a sitter there. Look, they'd won 7 games out of 10 up until 2 weeks ago, and then they dropped last week to Melbourne, unexpectedly, and then tonight they've gone out and dropped tonight's game. So I don't think they'll play finals, but I do think that they are on the improve and that they will be a finals team next year, the year after.
First time one thing about King, Big David King, he's always going to be the #1 ruckman, but Cam Mooney, who's out of sorts now, until King came back, Cam Mooney did a fantastic job. Since King's come back, Mooney hasn't sniffed it.
What about the captain, Ben Graham? We were probably harsh on him a bit. We was in the spotlight, but it was a night for him to really do some damage.
You can understand why he's played forward, because he can take a mark. He's taken more marks than anybody in the competition, and he can kick a long goal. But I still don't think he's a natural forward. He's just a bit robotic out at centre-half forward. I think his best position is centre-half back.
But he can kick it so long, you want him to run up the ground and meet the ball, and if he marks it 70 out, he's still a threat. What he actually does wrong, he sits back inside 50 too long and hopes the ball finds him. He's got to meet the ball
Doesn't present, does he?
No.
And that's something that, as a defender, it's just not an instinct thing, and that's something that I don't think he'll ever learn, because basically he's a player who just likes to control an opponent, not create the play himself.
OK, down back Scarlett, how did he stand up? He had 20 possessions.
I'm a big rap for this kid, and I thought this was probably his leanest, light on in terms of effect on the game match that he's had from every game I've seen the Cats this year. And I've probably seen them on 10 occasions. Thought he got bustled out of the way by smaller blokes in the aerial contest, where I haven't seen that happen before.
They're a young side, Dermot, and I think that it's just starting to catch up with them, the length of the season.
Well, we're going to take a break and have a look at the ladder and get your votes as well, Dermot. Or Woolsey, which one?
No, it wasn't hard either.
No, I reckon it might have been one of the easier nights. We'll take a break from Colonial, back with more right after this. Well, it was a fabulous performance by Glenn Archer. Almost cameo in a way, because it was the midfielders and the forwards that probably got more attention tonight for the Kangaroos. But just the same, he was in terrific form. Dermot, how did you go 3-2-1?
Yeah, well, there was probably only one bloke who was stiff to miss out, and that was Shannon Grant. But I had a look at my votes here, and David King split them open through the middle. One vote to him. Brent Harvey, the little boomer, he got plenty of it and kicked a few. And Adam Simpson, we probably only get 2, 3, maybe 4 times a year where a bloke gets 40 possessions in a game. He got 41 tonight.
The AFL.